Hey guys, you might know me. My name is Nemesis Bodreich, the Lord of Shadows. If you don't know me, I'm very confused. This is...
You possibly might not know me, and you possibly might not know me. Yeah, Mo. I'm the Hand.
And today, we're going to be doing a retrospective, I guess that's what you'd call it, like a look back at the first season of Not Death Battle.
Because it is very, very interesting, the progression of it.
So, just a quick one now, what's going to happen. We're going to rank our favourite Not Death Battles from worst to best from Season 1, as well as the Rejected and Specials. We're going to do the Rejected and Specials first, because they're easier. Then we're going to show you the preview for the first episode of Season 2 of Not Death Battle. Then we're going to go through the Not Death Battles themselves, and then we're going to be doing a reaction to the very first episode, Galactus vs. Magikarp.
One giant retrospective, which means this will be a long video for you to listen to us for.
Yes, it will. We're still waiting for the thing to load. It doesn't want to load, so I'm going to hurry this up and edit this part out. So, let's start with Not Death Battle Extra. This is the series in which we put Not Wiz and Not Boomstick against various
and allows
characters.
us to express their powers.
And it was, this was planned straight from the start to lead to Not Wiz versus Not Boomstick. And that's why I made the first Doctor Doom video, and then Who and Here continued on, and we made a series out of it.
Because, took a while for Ganondorf for me to make Ganondorf, but whatever. Anyways, let's start the ranking of it.
It spans It spans 8 episodes.
So far,
and
recording.
Let's go. Number 8, we have Not Wiz and Not Boomstick versus the Arsepool Wall. Do you want to take this one?
Literally, it was only made to showcase how Arsepool the Arsepool Wall is.
Yeah, it really didn't add anything, and it was just kind of a one-shot joke, you know.
It works, but compared to like the awesomeness of everything else, it just falls flat.
Number 7, we have Not Wiz Not Boomstick versus Santa Claus, which is the Christmas one. This was really just done for the Christmas thing, because the year before that, I had this big thing planned, but it didn't really pan out, and it kind of fell flat.
And it sucked. It sucked really hard.
I still have the animation, but I'm not going to use it. So instead, I just made this very short one, and it did lead to the Shang Tsung morph ability for Not Boomstick, which did really, really help with the animation for Not Wiz vs. Not Boomstick, in that little segment where he became Pornopedia 10,000 and Pornopedia Neo.
Yeah.
But it's really short.
Number 6, first Hercule Satan. This was just really done to bullshit Hercule Satan even more. It was fun anime,
It's what Arsepool Wall should have been, really.
Yeah. And gave Not Boomstick the Liu Kang flying kick, which he officially does in their fight. But
yeah, we say that because this is actually really a non-canon episode. What happens in it is just Hercule's imagination.
Because literally, what happens is they fight, Hercule somehow knocks himself out.
Yeah, Not Wiz
is like normal, is like in his normal form at the end, and Yang's the only one watching that match. So,
and it was like the final appearance of a bridged Yang until I eventually get back to a bridging Ruby, which will just be volume 4 and 5 because I don't feel like doing 2 and 3.
Yeah. So yeah, Hercule Satan was a good goof, but yeah, that's it.
Number 5 and 4 are less separate from each other and more around the same level of quality, but we just rank them randomly with these next two. So number 5, we have the first episode against Doctor Doom.
It just kickstarted everything. It introduced a lot of stuff.
It was good. I kind of did Doctor Doom for 2 reasons, or 3 reasons really. He had a lot of variety to him, which helped with animating against Not Wiz, because that was a time before we learnt like the techniques on how to make Not Wiz look good, and especially the teleporting. There was no teleporting, wider-porting, or fader-porting in the first episode of Not Wiz Not Boomstick versus anyone.
That was just his jetpack and him just moving around really.
Yeah, that was Huan's idea, and I expanded on it, and he expanded on it, and now we have 2 separate types of teleportation.
Because Not Wiz is just a fucking retard like that.
Yeah. So the episode it's good, but it does have a lot of flaws to it, which is mainly the fact that Not Wiz does very little throughout it, and it doesn't really go far.
And Not Boomstick gets all the cool moments.
And I forgot the other 2 parts that I was going to talk about. I also chose Doctor Doom because I just animated Doctor Doom vs. Ganondorf for Great Demon. Hello there, Demon, if you're watching. Good day. And also, it's just because he's a really powerful character, so we could expand on how powerful Not Wiz and Not Boomstick were from using Doctor Doom as a basis. Because he's really fucking strong.
Yeah, that's it. Number 4, versus Ganondorf. This one really helped with Nemesis by me just expanding on their powers. Like,
Yeah.
the teleportation really helped. I created the Book of Rocks, and that led to
The
a bunch of
stint
stupid shit.
that happened later, which we'll
Yeah.
talk about later.
It gave some of them the best feats, like the Notwiz punching Gandalf to the moon.
It introduced the whole destroying celestial bodies level of power for them.
Yep. Spartan Laser was bullshit. The MK move trend.
Started with that. It happened in Ganondorf, but then he also did it. It started with Dr. Doom, and he did it in Ganondorf, and then we just continued alternating, and we've only done the first game character so far, not counting Goro. We've not done Goro.
So we're gonna have fun with that. Maybe the super jump.
Yeah.
But yeah, Ganondorf, it's definitely not as flashy as Doom, and I know that, but it definitely helped expand the lore, plus Rushing Ganondorf returned.
Yeah, and it was Huan's first ever role, if you didn't know. And
the ending kill, like, no offense to Doom and Undertaker and the last one, like, that was good, but Jesus coming with a finger.
But that does introduce a problem we face, which is that in the first 2 episodes, or the first 3 episodes actually, the victories were all gotten from outside means, and that had to change eventually.
Yeah, like, the first 2, Notwiz teleported the combatant to unfair people's place.
Yeah, and the third one we'll talk about now, because number 3 we have Notwiz Nobunzik versus Saitama, which was a very good episode.
It's got a lot of action. All their abilities are now fought out.
And it's basically the only time they ever show teamwork. Like, if you watch the brief moment between that moment when Notwiz and Nobunzik juggle him, and
they
then
charge up the super punch.
Yeah, and then that moment at the port after Nobunzik fails, which was introduced first in this episode, technically.
Because remember in Ganondorf, Nobunzik just flew to the moon, and Notwiz could have helped out on that, but he didn't.
Yeah, and also in Ganondorf, there was actually like a bobblehead sort of thing of Nobunzik, but it was first introduced as like its own character in this episode.
Mini Nobunzik.
Mini Nobunzik, yeah, not Nobunzik, completely different character. What am I talking about? Oh god.
The problem with Saitama
is the problems would be the ending, which it was funny and it was fantabulous,
and it made sense.
But once again, they didn't actually win really. Someone else won for them. Although they did fight him for 6 hours, I think, straight, which was meant as like an impressive gesture. And I had to avoid another teleportation death. I had to point out why Notwiz didn't use teleportation, which is just because it didn't work for some reason.
Maybe that's an off day.
It's just an off day for Notwiz, or maybe it was Saitama's No Limits fallacy is more powerful than Ganondorf's, or I don't know.
Who knows? So, you explain the next one because you also animated that.
Yes, these next ones are all ones that I've animated. The reason Huans don't get too high up is just solely because they're more funny than they are actual fights.
Action packed, yeah.
And his best is definitely Ganondorf. But yeah. Number 2, we have Notwiz Nobunzik versus Prince Vegeta. First thing to note, this was the first introduction to Gameplay Logic's take on Vegeta, who replaced me, and he's far better than I ever was. Although I did have my Vegeta talk to his Vegeta at the end of how General Zod versus Vegeta should have been.
But whatever.
Yeah, which was like happy birthday Huan thing after his birthday already passed. Oops.
So yeah, versus Vegeta, it definitely by this time in the extra series, the fighting has gotten a lot more smoother. It looked much better.
Yeah, and the green screen usually didn't stick out too badly, but it's good. And it did give them a lot more power, especially in the fact they actually won. Nobunzik kills Vegeta and Notwiz kills Yamcha. It had another instance of Yang dying, of course. Can't forget that. I think that's one of
the channel trends.
Is that the only episode other than the next one that she appeared and died in? Because she technically didn't die in versus Hercule.
No, she doesn't.
So
she just gets a bike rammed into her.
Yeah, and that was in his imagination anyway.
Yeah.
Why Hercule imagined that, I don't know, but
he's a weird person, okay?
So yeah, that was versus Vegeta. It was quite a good episode, and let's go to the number 1.
Team Ruby, I mean,
yeah.
Can't deny it. Naruto spent the longest on this.
I spent way too long on this just to make it really smooth.
The only fight that's ever reached like over 1,000 frames, or at least 5,000 frames.
Yeah, I think it was 7,115.
Yeah,
it was something like that. We're just still nowhere near Notwiz vs Nobunzik, but because that was like 2 separate, nearly 10,000 frame animations. But yeah, versus Team Ruby was very good. I'm very happy with how it turned out. And I did have to include a little gameplay logic at the end as like a continuation of that slow arc we was building where he got continuously sick of Yang dying.
And he blew up Earth. Yay, but...
Not Boomstick survived anyway.
And that's how it led on to Not Boomstick. They were still floating through space. Oh yeah, that means they can just summon Shenron out of nowhere.
They don't need Dragon Balls, they just summon him.
Yeah.
Also, it was the introduction of the Book of Rocks summoning demons. Beyond Mini Not Boomstick.
Yes.
Which was just because I needed gameplay logic to beat up something, and I was getting kind of bored of just Not Boomstick's abilities, so I added that in, and yeah, it turned out to be really good.
So yeah.
I think probably my favorite portion would be that ending bit with Not Boomstick versus gameplay logic, or the very Whiterport spamming moment between Notwiz, Yang, and Blake.
Which was like... Did that take a long while to animate?
It took less time than the rest simply because the background was small enough that it didn't lag when I was animating. Because the way I do backgrounds, the animating section is really fucking laggy. But that time was much easier to do, but it was still a pain.
And I now use moving backgrounds.
Yes.
Just now.
Which is good. Alright, so that's Not Death Battle Extra in order. Asper Wall, Santa Claus, Hercule Satan, Dr. Doom, Ganondorf, Saitama, Vegeta, and Team Ruby.
Now, the next extra is definitely going to be me, and it's another channel member the cards we're fighting. You'll probably know who it is.
The next one I'm working on is going to be really big, a lot of characters, so yeah. Also, we were originally going to do Not Boomstick versus Street Fighter as one of the 2 Battle Royale ideas we have. I've since replaced it. Because I did Kenshiro vs Street Fighter instead.
But the other Battle Royale idea,
that's going to take a while. Both the Battle Royales we're planning are going to take a long while.
The finale of my one.
We spent like 20 minutes sitting here just coming up with the deaths for everyone. Anyway, let's get on to the next section, which is ranking of Not Death Battle Rejected.
Yes, I'll start this off with
shit. We should put... So, Not Death Battle Rejected. As of now, there have been 14 episodes. However, the last 2 were basically the same thing, so they're going to be put into the same little collection.
So for number 13s and 14s, we have the Goku fights. Goku vs. Baldy and Goku vs. Glass. Once again, these are just really goofy episodes.
It's short. That's their main strike against them, is they're really short.
They're just made because why the fuck not?
Yeah, the Baldy one was made because I noted all these videos where Baldy is super overpowered, so I just made a joke out of it. But someone made a comment, and I admit I should have done Baldy vs. Koro Sensei from Assassination Classroom instead. Oops.
And why Glass? Well...
That was like one of the old Not Death Battle ideas.
It was a request as well, I believe, so...
Yeah, something like that, but then the old file for the list got corrupted and vanished from existence.
Yeah,
so yeah. Alright, number 12, we have Vegeta vs. Sasuke. And
that's made for a different person. So
yeah.
That's why it's slow. It's
However, Huan told me that person was...
deleting their channel, but it's
still there, isn't it?
Yeah. So, hey, person I made the fight for...
gave something.
Yeah. Thanks for letting me do that, because it was not really fun trying to get back at Sasuke after Sasuke was Patroclus.
Yep. Yeah, he's still there. He's still there. It's still the latest upload with 31 views. I think our one has more views. But yes, so
might as well make it 2 things at once.
Yes, and you know it's really good because it's not really Not Death Battle Rejected, but still quality, you know.
But in terms of animations, it's probably like up there at the top. But
yeah.
Whatever. Number 11, you do that.
Now we should note here that none of the Rejecteds we think are bad. So this is just here because it's the least good, and that's Shizao versus Saitama. Which probably I spent some of the most time on just making the models for them, which I should release sometime, but I don't have a model for Guy Hamden, so you're just gonna have Shizao in his super form. But yeah, so it was good. I wanted to use Shizao in something for a gag, and I did.
And there's the gag.
Yeah, the joke is it's Shizao, and I am very proud of the one shot where Shizao flies into the atmosphere and charges down, because that took a lot of time to make. I'm happy how that bit turned out, but that's really it.
That's it. Okay, number 12, Rock vs. the Rock.
10. That should be 10.
Whoops, 10. Whoops. That number 13 confuses us.
So. I put 12 at number 10 by accident. It should be number 10. This is number 10.
So number 10, Rock versus The Rock. The idea itself is amazing, but the animations it's just basic.
It's alright. It's okay.
It's just another goof.
The best part is probably the lean into Adam Vitoris versus Jetstream Sam.
Yeah, probably really good.
Funny enough, I told Huan when he first animated it that it was wrong because Jetstream Sam wasn't spinning.
Yeah.
So his first thought, make him spinning.
But then I didn't hand you the animation where he was spinning, so then you had to resort to.
Oh well.
But let's just say he still spinned. Okay.
Yep. All right, number 9, Vegeta versus Kaiba. We have several Dragon Ball Z battles on this Rejected series, and this is probably one of the lesser ones because it's not really a fight. It's just a collection of funny dialogue
from Vegeta.
Yeah.
You would have known.
And the best part is that I really strained Dane with the shouting here. And that was kind of the point, was to just have Vegeta reach, like, because this was made in tandem with versus Sasuke as, like, a counterpart to that as a joke, because in Sasuke, he doesn't go blue. He remains completely base Vegeta the whole time.
And it makes sense.
But against Kaiba, he actually goes blue when he kills him.
Because he gets pissed off.
Because he's just that angry.
I mean, for Sasuke, it has to make sense, because even the big bang attack he does, I think that's a little excessive.
Well, I think he goes Super Saiyan when he does that normally, so he did a base big bang attack.
And that's still too much. He should have died at the kick on the super. Oh, whatever.
Also, is the introduction to Future Trunks and his voice, who later got used in a few other things. So yeah. Number 8.
Yang versus Lusei, the clone.
It's weird because Yang wins. This is one of only 2 animations in which Yang wins on this channel.
It's a smooth animation, at least.
Yeah, this was the first idea. It was just like a random sprite animation.
This
but
is when you said it wasn't going to become an idea.
But then I thought,
become a series.
Why not? Why bother just putting them on the list of sprite animation? Because that's where we put the things we do for other people when we animate. So when I did Shiza vs Saitama, I thought, not Death Vow Rejected.
And then I came in rocking my 2 ideas.
Yes, and the reason it's called Rejected, right? So I was going to suggest to Huan Yang vs Lucy as a serious battle just for Dane's sake, as a joke, make Yang win, but I decided against it. And Shiza vs Saitama, I actually began the research on, but then I kind of realized that I couldn't use the footage from Shizao because it gets shut down really quickly. So
rejected for a reason.
Yeah. Anyway, it's a good episode. Next.
Presume it's number 7 still.
Mhm.
Okay, good. Devil is Dante. This was a fan request from that Duncan
Anderson.
Yes.
It was going to be a Not Death Battle special, but because of what we did with Not Death Battle specials, we decided to just make it a Rejected.
Yeah, and I felt like this was a idea.
This is a really good idea. It was like the shit Deadpool versus the shit Dante.
And then have the actual versions come in and...
Having actually recently just finished the first Devil May Cry, I can definitely say it is the shit Dante. And I'm starting Devil May Cry 2, which is not as good. And I'm trying to get my hands on Devil May Cry 4, because I've already got 3.
On the Xbox 360.
I don't have an Xbox 360, I have an Xbox One and a PS4. I don't have the previous consoles. I don't know if it's backwards compatible with that game. Anyway,
we'll have to check that later. Anyways, yes, so it's also short, but just due to the pure fact that the real versions come in to kill them.
And it was the return of the Dante voice, which is the first voice I used against someone else's voice.
Yes.
And that was not Huand.
It took a fucking while for that to happen, but...
He's back.
And
I used his voice for Crow now. Oops. Number 6. Adam Taurus versus Future Trunks.
This is just Deadpool as Dante, but done better.
It's a total joke. Because I wanted to use Trunks, and okay, so the Hunter Drake is a sprite guy who mostly just does reskins of other sprites and puts other sprites together to make pretty good looking sprites, and Adam's one of them. He looks really good. So I thought, I'll put him in a fight, because why not? And so I chose Future Trunks, because he's got a sword, and he had a lot of sprites to them. So, if you notice, the whole fight was just a sword clash, and Adam never actually gets a hit on Trunks until Trunks allows him.
Yep. And
that's the whole joke. It was a complete shit stomp, and it ends in one shot.
I think the Key Blast was my idea, wasn't it?
Yeah, the Key Blast was... I was going to do a burning attack. I think that's the name, the Fireball. But then whoever was like, just make it a Key Blast. And I thought, that works. It helps highlight how stompy it is.
So yeah, funny, but...
Yep.
Number 5, it is Shadow versus Goku Black.
This is another total shit stomp. And it was...
The animation for it was pretty good.
Yeah, it was a good animation. I wanted to bring Goku Black back because Huan really likes doing the voice.
What did you say, mortal? Yeah, things like that.
Yeah, it's a very fun voice for him to do, especially because it sounds completely different to his Goku.
Hey, Goku Black, you wanna fight? No, you fucking piece of shit.
All right, father, we just calm down. And yeah, my Gohan's weird because he has to sound like Goku, and my Goten is going to be weird too when I do him properly.
Oh, wow.
Anyway, yeah, so I chose Shadow simply because Sonic versus Goku. There's no connection. There's no connection either. And the only time Shadow ever really gets a hit in is when he uses Chaos Control.
And that's how he only gets hits
That's
in.
kind of what happens. And the whole effect for Chaos Control, where hit animations just appear, was just kind of a gag on how it's often shown that...
Yeah, I pointed that out to Nemesis.
Usually when people animate, the hit effect happens normally, however, time's frozen. So it shouldn't, and that's why I chose to make them just appear.
It looks shit up, but hey, Nemi had a reason for it, so...
And yeah, it still turned out to be good. The ending was great, and, you know, Rosé's good. That's good.
But, absolutely shit stomp over that, Guts vs. Berserker.
The main thing is that I spent a lot of time on this one, mostly because Beast in Black released an album called Berserker. It's their first album, and I loved it, and I wanted to use the song for something. It inspired me. Hey, Guts vs. Berserker. Why not? I love Fate, I love Berserk. And I did want to give Guts a 1 kill against Berserker simply because I know there are Berserk fans who would complain that Berserker won, Guts should have won, but realistically, Draven Dragonslayer wouldn't do jack shit to Berserker. But, you know, I gave him the benefit of the doubt.
I can't believe we agreed for this as the fucking number 3. Darkseid versus Toilet.
Okay, this really helps embody the point of Not Death Battle.
In general.
In general,
it's fucking stupid.
It's the dumbest thing possible.
But it has effort put into it, which makes it good.
When he first showed it to me, I thought, what the fuck is this?
It was another fight request. Can't remember the person, and it's like, sure, why not?
One of the other best parts of it is the fucking thumbnail. Like, the toilet's praised as the new Messiah, and Darkseid can't believe it.
Darkseid is still in character in the animation, surprisingly.
Darkseid loses to a toilet? What?
Hey y'all, you wanna fight
The toilet's got, like, whose voice is that?
me, I think.
No, what voice does the toilet have? It's like the glass voice.
Yeah.
Yeah. The glass is toilet's voice, which is weird. But yeah, it's
just really stupid, and that death...
It's so dumb. And then Toilet brings out these guns, and it's like, that's vintage Not Death Battle right there. Like, you can't get... That's what makes us different, I guess, is that we don't take ourselves
Will you ever have a
seriously.
sentient toilet pulling out 2 pistols, shooting yellow laser beams at a headless Darkseid, completely eradicating the body, while in above atmosphere in space on Earth?
Enough said.
Yeah.
Number 2. Kentra vs. Street Fighter.
Now this was supposed to be Not Wizard, Not Broomstick versus Street Fighter.
As we mentioned earlier, but...
You animate Kentra versus...
Yeah, I had this idea for Kentra vs. Deadpool that might still happen. But first before that, I had the idea Kentra vs. Street Fighter. And I thought, because originally in the How Johto vs. Kentra should have been, there was going to be a gag where, similar to Fate vs. Strange, Ryu and Ken would show up in the background when Kenshiro says Shoryuken for the Hadouken looking attack. And they were going to complain and then die. But then I decided to make that into its whole thing against all of Street Fighter.
And it doesn't go well for Street Fighter.
And because of that, we now have every single character in Street Fighter with their own voice, kind of. And yeah, that was just really fun to animate. Yeah.
And the number 1's essentially the same of that as well.
Anime Girls Battle Royale. I spent the second longest on this over any animation behind Not Wiz vs. Not Boomstick. I love how it turned out. Like it first came about because there was a Mugen character from Morgiana from Magi, which at the time was what I was watching, and I wanted to put her in a battle. At the same time, I got permission from LK64 to use Ryuko and Leone, and then at the same time, I found working Emmy user sprites from Devil is a Part-Timer, and I thought, let's make a battle out of this, and just brought in everyone. People do comment that there are no certain characters that aren't there, like the chick from Hyper Neptunia. Maybe her name's just Neptunia, I don't know. But she's from a game, and I decided against including game characters that were converted to anime.
Can't really include everyone, that would just be impossible.
Yeah, it was mostly just every waifu dies. And I had the hardest time picking who would win, but then I fell onto Dragon Ball. Like, Dragon Ball exists, I love the manga. Android 18
Makes sense.
just shit stomps on everyone in that animation.
Mm.
And the best part for me was probably just being able to use Astria as well. Was that halfway through animation, I thought I could also use Astria from Heaven's Lost Property, an anime I sorely regret finishing, but at the same time it was kind of entertaining. And I could emphasize that she was way stronger than Urza, because she was total fucking bullshit. And I even referenced the part where in the Fairy Tail manga Urza destroys an asteroid.
And hey,
Yeah, and that leads to Android 18. And then I included that small segment where most of the characters in the thumbnail showed up, only to die almost immediately against Android 18.
I still can't believe Dark Clover's toilet's number 3. Why?
Yeah. Oh, and also on the thumbnail, I chose specifically not to include most of the characters in the animation because part of the enjoyment was while I listed them in the description, I also noted that part of the joy is just seeing who shows up to fight.
You know, another battle royale idea involving that holy figure. Remember?
Oh yeah, that's gonna come out.
I wonder if that's going to take up number 3 or 2.
Maybe
It's
Team
definitely-
vs Deadpool will. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Nice.
that's it for Rejected. So while we're taking an intermission break, that is actually not going to be very long in real life.
We're going to figure out our 1-second punch-out favorites.
No, we're not.
Intermission break. Explain what we're doing.
During this intermission break, we are going to show you the preview for the season 2 episode 1 of Not Death Battle, and take a break. Yeah.
After that, we'll be doing OzPro and NDB itself.
Yes. So enjoy. Yes, and there you go. There was the intermission break. That's just like 2 seconds in real life. We are doing Flash versus Flash Gordon for the season 2 premiere. If you didn't know, we actually have all of season 2 mapped out before season 1 even
Yes.
was halfway through. And I did post a little picture of a camera flash
on the FCC.
on the Future Characters
community.
Collide community, and no one seemed to get it. And I even included a little message, which I'll put on the screen right now. Yeah, so enjoy.
Yeah.
And now we're going to go to 1 second punch out, which I forgot to mention at the start. We're doing that though.
Okay. We will do that after this jump cut.
We are back.
That was a weird jump cut, but
We spent a long time-ish figuring this one out. This is our top 32 1 second punch outs. But first, brief talk. We forgot a rejected, which is Pen vs. Rock, the Valentine's Day special, which I only recently put back into the playlist. Oops.
whoopsie.
If I had to put that somewhere, I'd probably put it near the bottom, just because it's not
Above-
really a rejected.
Above the Goku vs. Class.
Above the Goku ones and above Vegeta vs Sasuke, but it's not really a rejected. It's just got the name because
Yeah. I mean,
it just led into Not Wiz vs Not Boomstick. It was a Valentine's Day special thing.
plus the thumbnail for it was made.
Thumbnail was fucking
Angry Pen. Sad
great. Anyway, yeah, 1 second punch out. Let's go. Number 32, King Kong vs Godzilla.
Not really a 1 second punch out.
It just kind of started the thing.
Pilot episode. It's not
Yeah.
really special.
Yeah. Number 31, Gypsy Danger vs Eren Yeager, which confusingly has the most views. It's
not really an animation. I mean, it is, but
it's got nothing is really animated except for the laser blast and the explosion. It's really just footage from the film. Number 30, Edward Elric vs the Iron Giant.
it's literally just a stomp. Funny, but
Yeah.
it's literally a stomp.
The best part is where and the sound effect.
Yep.
Number 29, Black Rock Shooter versus The Rock. I love Black Rock Shooter, and I wanted to use her. There we go. It was
But
one
we
attack. It
just-
was okay.
But we have a better Rock versus Rock matchup now.
And I have ideas for Black Rock Shooter, potentially 2B from Nier Automata. Not sure. Something in the future.
28, Ruby versus Ragnar.
The worst of the everyone in Ruby dies in 1 second punch out, barring one character who we will not talk about yet. It was okay.
It's just, yeah.
I kind of wish I waited for Cross Tag Battle for the Ruby Sprites if they ever get ripped to come out, but you know.
Whatever. You did the best you could.
Yep.
Number 27, Smaug versus Tinkerbell.
This is a joke on the... someone made a comment in a video, I forgot what it was, about Dragon type versus Fairy type in Pokemon, and said, if you put Tinkerbell against Smaug, Tinkerbell's not going to fucking win. And so I put that there, and I said, hey, Huand, do this. And he did it.
So, yeah. It's just it's a goof, but not really a good goof. It's eh. Number 26, Gamera vs Ninja Turtles. Much better, and idea sort of has a connection.
And has a funny, instead of them being incinerated, they find the sun, but that leads to a problem.
It's 2 seconds.
It's 2 seconds. Most of them are either a couple milliseconds short or ahead. This one is straight up.
I think
just
someone
2
even
seconds.
pointed out.
Someone
You
pointed
lied.
it out.
I think it was
You
Butter
lied.
Samurai.
He was like, you lied to me.
Fucking hell.
Number 25, Akame vs Lancer. This is another one that goes over the 1 second mark, but this one's on purpose. Really the joke was that everyone says Akame can kill anyone in one slice, but Lancer is just way stronger. So, yeah.
Yeah. Mega Glaive vs Kaiba.
That's our number 24.
That was supposed to be an NDB, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
But I decided against it. It should have been rejected, but that didn't exist at the time that
Yeah.
we made this. That I
These
made
were
this one.
before.
This one was just done as a joke because Mega Glaive looks like Kaiba. That's it. That's the joke.
Sure. Number 23, Barbie vs Dora. Fun, and both of them are dead now, so yay me.
That's the best. The best part is that Thwomp wins.
Yeah, Thwomp.
Number 22, Amy versus DDD. Ooh,
It's just been done too much.
Huan loves Kirby,
Yeah.
so he did it.
Plus, the idea is overdone, and it's quite obvious who wins.
Number 21, Genos versus Yamcha. Nobody wins this. That's the joke. Is that Saitama and Goku win,
And they don't even fight.
and the fact that there's a 1 second title card that feels the need to say 1 second later.
Yes.
And Genos doesn't die, and that actually leads to Nobu's Nobunaga versus Saitama when he's dragging Genos around and he kills Yang, of course. But Yamcha's just straight up dead.
Yeah.
And Goku's going through a phase with his voice in that one.
Totally like I wasn't around to record Goku, but
Yep.
Number 20, Frieza vs Ridley. It has a great build up to one of the higher 1 second punch outs, but that's it.
Yeah, it's very good. I like how it turned out, but the best part is that for all the build up in what happens, it just ends in
Why the fuck is Ridley on
why
Namek
is Ridley
and-
on Namek? And
Like,
he
what,
just,
did Samus just land on Namek to try and find him?
and how
or
did
what?
Frieza travel through space on his own? I don't know, but that's kind of the point.
19, Jason versus Aquaman.
This is based on the scene, the infamous, I guess, scene
In
Freddy vs. Jason, where Jason's afraid of water, despite the fact that he's shown plenty of times in previous films he's fine with water. The joke is Aquaman.
He literally walks through water, doesn't he?
Yeah, he spends almost at the end and beginning of every film, he's like underwater, and he's fine. So I don't get it. Even at the end of this film, he just waltzes out of the water without a problem.
But
Anyway.
yeah, we made fun of it.
Aquaman beats it with a splash of water, he has a heart attack and dies.
It's stupid, but good. Number 18, Joker versus Kefka.
Yeah, it's exactly what you'd expect from the battle. I mean, people bring up Emperor Joker versus Kefka. That's not fair. Emperor Joker shit stomps, but this is just Joker versus Kefka. How do you put that in a fight?
Exactly. 17, Yang versus Paper. This was done because Yang and Paper are both double combatants in
Yeah.
the mainline NDB.
They were the first two double combatants.
Although
And, yeah.
Yang wasn't before that because Ruby Battle Royale was episode 29.
Yes, but no one noticed.
Yeah.
And so Yang loses, of course. Number 16, Yang versus Saitama.
It's better because it's not Paper.
Gorier, and I think they take place at like the same location, like it's very similar locations.
But that's it. Number 15, Weiss vs SDF, the actual one that started it.
It's a good start. I'm happy with it. LK64 seemed to be okay with it, and it was just fun to do because Weiss just dead. It began as well the trend that every Ruby member and Adam die in 1 second punch out.
Because that's a Nemesis Bloodreich's. That's a Nemesis Bloodreich speciality right there.
Yep.
Whoops. You can.
Number 14, Emperor Palpatine versus Scar.
It's another funny one, and it's another goof.
But it's the worst of the Star Wars versus Lion King so far, simply because the death isn't too funny, but it works.
It's cool, but yeah.
Yeah.
But number 13, Luke versus Simba.
The death is hilarious because the eyes. It's the eyes.
Yep. But to even one up that, Vader vs Mufasa. They
At
stopped.
number 12, which is the best, just because of the way it happens so quickly and calmly, and Vader doesn't even seem to notice. Like, Luke just keeps it there, and Emperor does a pose.
Palpatine, like,
He's
really
like,
gets into
yeah.
it.
But
Vader
Vader
just swamps.
he just wants fight. He doesn't give a shit.
Yeah.
Done.
So, yeah, cool.
Yep. Number 11, Knuckles vs Catwoman.
Despite how short it is well
It's
animated.
good, and it's very gory, technically.
Mm.
Number 10, Weiss, the Arcana Hearts one versus Gilgamesh. This was kind of just done because I like Arcana Hearts as an idea, and I'm really looking to try to find a way to get the 3 games, but I
And
can't
it was
right
good.
now. But, you know,
It had different camera angles, because that apparently mattered.
Yeah, because the Mugen character had the sprites from the game, and I thought, I'll use that.
Meta Knight vs Kirito. Well, the animation wasn't, Actually, yeah, it was quite
It was good. The best part is that they were really good Kirito sprites, and we decided not to use them.
That was meant to be a tutorial video, even.
Yeah, it was meant to be a tutorial, but we never
Yep.
got around to releasing it, because tutorials are hard to make.
I might make one with another Oscar Parody, you never know. But yeah, I love how Meta Knight just doesn't give a shit.
Yep. Number 8, Blake versus Raven. The best part about this is how Raven doesn't even seem to notice how violently she kills Blake.
And it's over the top as well.
It's really over the top, and Blake just shows up in a box. Like,
Sure.
why? Anyway. Number 7, CJ versus Marcus Holloway.
You got a
I got Planet Ivan to do it.
yes, your
He became a friend of mine because I edited his fairy tale sprites into my fairy tale sprite pivot models into the pivot pack for that. I'm still very happy with that pivot pack.
he did a good job.
Yeah, and it's probably the best part of that one's actually the nightmare I made. But in terms of fairy tale, I'm very happy with how they turned out, especially the Urza ones and Natsu. And yeah, so
Made sense.
made sense. Thank you for animating this. It was really high quality.
Number 6, Pen vs Scissors.
It's a special,
the longest second punch out,
which
but
is mostly because most of it was us talking at the end. But yeah,
it's a prequel to Pen vs Pencil,
which is just so dumb.
but it
And-
made sense.
Yeah, and Master Hand shows up, or is it? It's the right
Yeah, it
hand.
was
That's
Master Hand.
Yeah. Left hand's crazy hand.
Yeah.
All right, number 5, Zoro versus Zoro.
Now this was fuck, I cannot speak today. This was meant to be another not Death Battle actually.
But it got swapped out with one that was going to be one thing, a Punch Out, which we'll talk about
Sasuke
later.
vs Patroclus.
Which we'll talk about later.
Yeah, we'll
So the reason is because Sasuke Patroclus, you might notice, is longer than 1 second,
I kind of realized that late because I did 3 sword slices.
and Zoro versus Zoro. I just didn't want to research Rowanoa Zoro. I think.
And there's not really a lot of Zoro.
Yeah,
masked one you can't.
hard to find good info on the comic Zoro, and the films usually, apart from one of them, aren't that great.
Yeah. So you can see why we turned into 1 second punch.
Yep.
But hey, it worked. And
All I have to do is cut out like a brief moment between Zoro slicing and the ending, and you'll definitely notice because of the ending that the way the things come together or something. The split screen, that's just a sign it wasn't meant to be 1 second punch out.
it was good, really good. Number 4, Jetstream Sam versus Adam Taurus. Now you suggested this one to me, didn't you?
Yeah,
Or-
and I brought up the idea of the still animation, the still images swapping.
This is what really started the still images trend.
Yeah, with the idea that they just change poses and animate that way.
This was purely done just to show how unfair this really was, and yeah, it turned out really well.
Yeah, and the best part is probably the ending. The fact that he says like, "Oh no," with each thing, which I eventually put into not Death Battle, which won't be talked about really. Maybe just a brief mentioning later.
Yeah.
As the sound of Scissors dying was, "Oh no." Okay.
So yeah, just everything flowed together well, and
Yep.
the fact that Rock versus The Rock built up to it even makes it even better.
Number 3 is my highest ranking one. So in this case, who does better 1 second punch
Oh
outs,
my
I guess.
god! Yeah, sure.
Is Broly versus Brock the Overlord. Mostly because it's so fucking stupid. Like, Broly kills Frieza, makes
Sure.
sense. I don't think Resurrection F existed when I did that. Maybe it did, I don't know. I didn't exactly know how strong Golden Frieza was. He should kick Broly's ass, but you know. Beside the point, he beats Frieza, and then this perpetually smiling chunk of broccoli shows up from Notwiz's copy machine
Yes.
and turns Broly into broccoli. And then, of course, the thing that probably puts it up this high is the fact that Broly still manages to use his power with green muscly arms and green hair
To-
as broccoli and he blows up Namek.
Poor Namek.
And I later did an animation of him beating up Yang that I used in my Yang versus Garo episode of the Ruby Analysis series. So yeah, you can take these ones. Who went?
Number 2, Elsa vs Sub-Zero. This seems like to be a personal favorite. Everyone, I can see why.
Yeah.
If everyone doesn't know, we don't really think Frozen is that good of a film. I mean, it's and
I haven't really seen it, but from what I know of it and what I have seen of it, it doesn't really tickle my fancy.
And Elsa, there's much better ice characters.
Yeah,
So
although
what-
I do think the idea of Elsa versus Jack Frost from Rise of the Guardians isn't that bad an idea. Even though Elsa wouldn't be able to see him just based on the rules of that movie.
But we made it even better by
'Cause-
making it first Sub-Zero.
I said, hey, Huan, just have all the ice characters show up and beat
And I
her
thought
up.
of every ice character that I could think of.
I probably could think of other ones. You probably could think of other ones too, but those were the ones that screamed to him. And if we just did any more, they would be unnecessary. It was perfect.
Yeah.
It was perfectly brutal for the Frozen haters.
And the on the Lich King.
Like the fact of the Lich King, he doesn't even do it. He just like looks at her and walks
goes
past her.
does the traditional black
A black screen with a slashy
flash,
thing.
and then I mean, lucky I don't use that a lot now. I still use the white flashes, but I don't do that.
Yeah. And
well.
number 1 is the one that I also came up with an idea with, and just translated it so perfectly.
Sonic
Sonic
versus
versus Flash.
So is the quickest. Yeah.
My
also
idea
one of the
was
longest.
kill Sonic in 1 frame. He didn't quite do that. He killed
But-
Sonic in 2 frames.
But I needed a frame where he had the punch. So shut up.
So yeah, I didn't really complain. The best part though was when I said have him spend a whole minute just
Traveling,
and I gave him all these stupid ideas,
and then I came up with some even more stupid ideas.
like the Death Egg. There's a reference to Death Star versus Death Egg and the analysis for Death Egg, and that made me
Or
laugh for
having-
years. I think
Having Ace and Natsu shop
Ace
at
and
a
Natsu
KFC.
and Doctor
Or
Doom
no-
meeting Doomsday for some reason.
Yeah.
No,
Or the Flash spinning during Not Broomstick's punching
which
moment.
we eventually put into.
So that's canon now.
It's canon. Like Flash traveled forward in time.
Or Hercule versus Dan, where Hercule flying.
There's the Hulk versus John Cena reference,
Yeah.
which I think happened before that episode came out.
Kirby versus eating Sonic without
Yeah,
any
Kirby
much
and Sonic, he
consequence.
didn't care.
Nemesis ramming Sora.
The Huan's ship flying past, and then Huan way bigger than he should be flying
Just
past.
flying past.
There's so many laughs in that, and I think it's definitely the best. It's so good, and smack dab in the middle of the main series of One Second Punch Out.
Yeah, it once again emphasizes how stupid everything is.
Yeah, it's vintage channel, I guess. So now we're going to just talk quickly about Not Death Battle and just what happened with it. It was an April Fool's video that I engineered a
That's
long
it.
time before it happened.
We have another April Fool's idea, but
We're not talking about it right now.
yeah,
Just know that it involves some mascots of some companies that are kind of gone. The mascots are gone, really.
the companies are still there. One's a gaming one, and the other's a drink. You drunk the.
You might actually get it. You might actually get it based on those hints. Anyway, that's really it. Like, the idea was just make a parody of our parody and give
And-
it the most confusing name possible.
So not Wiz, not Broomstick killed, not Wiz, not Broomstick twice now.
And yeah, the best part is either not Boomstick's over exaggeration or not Wiz's over exaggeration. And the joke, one of the main jokes was that it's what people see see regular Death Battle as, just no effort research, no effort animation. That's what some people see it as, and that was the joke. It was no effort in anything. That was just the gag. It even used footage from Not Death Battle, much in the
Yeah.
same way the first episode of Not Death Battle used footage from Death Battle.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's...
Or we continue using footage from Death Battle and not Death Battle, but we can. But
we can't stop that after a point.
yeah. Plus, I think in Iron Man vs. Nick Kelly, I made a joke of like blame Huan for this, and
Yep. And
we're sellouts for using Death Battle.
Not Boomstick became more canon in Wiz vs. Boomstick, where they
Yeah.
get killed, and their sprites are absolutely hilarious.
Now we get on to the main line.
The big thing.
Oh fuck!
Not Death Battle, ranking the episodes.
This was tough, but some of them.
Some
were
of it
tough.
was tough, some of it was easy. Alright, let's start. We're not going to count Not Death Battle special in this.
No, because there needs to be
Yeah.
more.
Number 30, Paper versus tree.
It's a piece of shit.
It's just... Okay, we mentioned this in many, many videos that never even got released. There is a history. We'll talk about it now.
Yes.
Finally on the channel. Paper vs. Tree has the worst history of any episode.
It's not the actual episode itself.
The episode itself would maybe make it around 26, 25, around that level.
But the history behind it.
Okay,
we'll
so
just summarize it.
What happened was, Huan did it. He finished it. He sent it to me. However,
it got corrupted.
It got corrupted somehow. Half of the video was, or like
black
3/4 of the video was just black screen, and I don't know where that video's gone. I looked for it all over my original computer, couldn't find it. It's not on my drive. It's nowhere to be found.
Conveniently, just as that happened,
his
computer fucked up,
died. Basically, it just was gone.
So then I had to hand that in to the local technicians.
And I did Ken vs. Ken in the meantime, and that was released. And then when he got it back, his charger was gone.
Oh, never. Let's just forget the fact that from the time that I handed in my computer to get in the computer, that was the entire holidays.
Yeah, that was his whole school holidays.
Summer holidays. That was from like December of 2016 to February of 2017. That's the difference between Ken vs. Ken and Red vs. Henry. It's like a whole different time.
This was a whole long time. It was the third longest delay.
And then I didn't get my charger, which means I had to charge the technician's
so he couldn't even get his charger. So he was making it throughout the time.
I had to animate the 2-part.
He had like maybe 3 hours a day to do it, not counting all the time he had to spend using this computer at school to work on it, because he couldn't get his charger. And when he did get his charger,
I was then finally able to fucking finish it.
But the worst part is, during that time, he did get his charger back early, but they forgot the part that connects into the PowerPoint.
Yes. So I still had to...
so he still couldn't use it. Because I used a different laptop to him. I was using an iPad at the time. So I didn't have anything that could work with him, and no one else did either. So he was so screwed.
And I think I was able to finish it.
Yeah, you finished it, and then the day after it got uploaded, he got his charger back.
Paper's Tree, piece of shit.
Just fuck that episode. Alright, 29.
That documentary's still coming out.
Yeah, we're gonna make a documentary for it sometime.
Yep, 29.
Super Meat Boy vs. Super Tofu Boy. It's really short.
It was too short, but at least the animation for it's like one of the most brutal kills.
The worst part is that I played through and 100% at the entire Super Tofu Boy game. I have a full Let's Play. There's no narration, but I recorded the whole Let's Play.
Don't upload it. Don't. Ever.
I might upload it just because I don't think there's any up right now of every level. No. But yeah, I hate the game.
But did the animation satisfy you?
Yeah, the animation was happiness. That was bliss.
I mean, okay, he went through a buzzsaw, got corded by swords, squished between hammers, lasered to death by.
And then Kirby ate it and became Black
profile picture.
Black Kirby Huand.
And then myself, as the sprite came in.
You know, I realized, why do we call it Black Kirby Huand when it's grey-ish?
And it's my profile picture, which means it shows up more, I guess.
Yeah, I'm gonna go take a piss. Just for a moment. Alright.
We'll be right back after another jump cut.
Return now, once and good, for number 28, which is
Me Fight Battle Royale.
It's bland as tofu, ironically, given what came just before it.
I mean, you can't really work much with the default Miis.
Yeah,
and the fight itself, well, it was good. It's not an animation.
I think Huan did it because no one else did it at the time. And he wanted to do a Smash related one, and I thought,
it makes sense.
Why not? And the fight was perfect for what it was.
Yeah. It's just compared to everything else.
It is the only time we've done a fight where we didn't actually animate it in some way. I'm pretty sure it's the only one.
Took me a while to get the one fight I wanted.
Perfect fight with the final Smash ending.
Yeah.
We actually did do a lot, or he did a lot of
matches both on 3DS and Wii U just to see.
Yeah, just to see with the default who won the most often, and it was me, Brawler.
Yeah, because on Wii U he did, but on 3DS the Sword Fighter on longer stocks did win. So.
But that was on longer stocks. On shorter stocks, which is what we were basing it on, was it 2 stocks? Me Brawler often won. Yeah. And me Gunner just noped out of there.
So it's bland, but it's good.
The
also
best,
those origin stories,
the origin stories
Sword of Death,
and the Sword of Death introduced here.
And that's what it's essentially how Not Musical was able to win.
Number 27, Table vs Chair.
It's an inanimate object fight.
It's just probably the blandest of them all.
The thing that strikes out about it is probably the animation where the door comes in.
Yeah, the door comes in. Probably the best parts would be the animation, because table and chair don't talk. Really weird for us. That was kind of the joke. And door wins. And also the footage where Huan looked like he was interrogating the chair. And that was good.
What are you doing, chair?
He was interrogating the invisible woman. You just couldn't see her.
And don't forget when Bob Steve, now wearing a hood for some reason, and Rat Trap were messing around with a red chair for some reason.
Yeah.
The footage in that was really weird, and that's the only thing that stands out. It's okay, but the footage is just too much.
Yep.
Number 26, Devil Dinosaur is the motherfucking T-Rex. A 3-page script!
That's all we wrote for notes for this one, because that's the main reason it's down here. It was only a 3-page script,
And one of the other reasons, it's just, over time, the motherfucking T-Rex joke just, no offense, just didn't really work.
Yeah, it died out eventually. Now it's a sparing thing we use, but I'm glad we did this just for the joke of it. And the fact that it's basically a better version of Edward Elric vs. the Iron Giant, the animation is. And I'm happy with it. I just think, there wasn't much we could do. And Notwiz is giant! He's equal in size.
That's the thing that supports the
giant.
giant.
He's slightly bigger than Notwiz, actually.
That's when we really need to figure out the height difference.
That was the first animation with them ever. So with Doctor Doom versus them, was the Tards.
So
that
I'm
was when I cemented his height.
if we kept the giant Notwiz.
That would be so weird. You might notice in all of my ones they're all consistent height. With Huan's they're slightly different. Notwiz a slightly different height each time.
Yeah.
And combined with the thing in Devil Dinosaur versus motherfucking T-Rex, that's where his ability to shift size came from.
Like in mine, he's always at or in my ones, he's usually at chest level. In yours, he's usually at neck level.
Yeah, he's around the neck level.
And then Devil Dinosaur's
he's bigger than the boomstick. So we just turned that into an ability.
So who has the consistent size? No one.
No one.
It's
really.
just him.
It's just that I'm consistent between my animations more so. Mostly because I copy and paste them from each animation before I animate.
And I tend to just. Yeah. But whatever.
Anyway,
doesn't take away from those. Anyways,
number 25. Ken Masters vs. Ken Carson.
The Ken doll.
Yeah.
The Ken doll analysis was okay for what it was.
The Ken Masters analysis was good.
Ken doll.
That was where I had to draw the line, and I thought, what the hell is this? Probably the best part is the penisiness joke. That no matter how many times we tried to copy it, just never worked as well as the first one. That was so good, and Great Demon reacted to it too. And
And the animation for it, it's. Hey motherfucker, let's go. 1v1. Mono, punch it, punch it, yo!
It's so stupid, but I love it.
Plus, that's what got us essentially animating for Demon now, so...
Yeah, and I'm happy with it, and yeah. Number 24.
Galactus vs. Magikarp. Too quiet.
It's too quiet. I wrote in the notes, the joke is that it's really quiet, and I made the text really small. That's the joke.
For the first episode, you can't really...
Yeah, it's some people's favorite, apparently, which... Nostalgia, I guess, but it has its qualities. We are going to react back to it. Oh god.
What? Holy hell, just looking at everything else now, it is very outdated.
It is very outdated.
The carrot, not Wizard, not Boomstick in the original script, weren't even labelled as
They weren't even not Wizard, not Boomstick. They were just Huan and Nemesis.
Yeah.
Or maybe it was our real names in that
I didn't even fucking emote. You were just trying to
I
imitate.
was being Boomstick. He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick, as opposed to he's not Wiz and I'm not Boomstick.
All the footage you used apparently just had logos galore.
It just had logos stuck in it. And some people still say that Not Boomstick's a copy of Boomstick, but guys, just no comment.
He's the one that has a dick shot.
Their abilities are different, their personalities are very different, their status is different, their purpose is different, and most importantly, the voices aren't even close anymore.
So
I used to be very close to Boomstick in my voice, and I didn't like that, so I changed it.
The only thing that's saving Galactus vs. Magikarp is probably the animations.
The animations for my first Spy animation, I think was really
decent.
good. And then there was the stupid craziness.
Round 2.
And the best part was that I just sat down and recorded some
We don't
sound effects. I just watched it and made sound effects over it as like a child.
We don't do that anymore.
We don't do that anymore, but that was the joke because it was so dumb looking. I had to do that.
It's sad to see that.
And
there's
even
animation...
Huan does not know what happened at the end there. He has no clue.
Hell, Galactus died. I mean,
He's like,
Earth comes back for some reason.
it just hits him.
Magic
and then
Cat come.
this line,
Yeah.
this series of
and
lines
then
that
blows
jump,
up.
and then they blow up, and
I think-
this is just gone.
I think maybe the Magic Carp using the flail brought the Earth back for some reason and slammed. Then he escaped the stomach. I don't fucking.
Just showed
He
up.
just died.
And the fact that I showed the Shadow Zone.
Yeah.
And you know, Superman, Goku, and Saitama all died of Magikarp
Apparently.
in the aftermath. So yeah. All right, 23.
Hulk Hogan
This
versus
is
John
John
Cena.
Cena.
Are you ready to rumble?
Not quite. That's
quite.
WCW.
Yeah.
This one was done because I'm a WWE fan. If you didn't know, don't judge me. I won't judge you.
You like Hulk Hogan
I like Hulk Hogan. I always
and
liked
hate
him.
John Cena.
Okay. As of
This
recent times, I've not gone to hate John Cena as much, but I'm still not a great fan of him.
This one was weird because we took a battle out. I don't know. Yeah, it was Balloon Boy vs Flashlight. We took that out.
Yeah, and then
You wanted to do Hulk Hogan versus John Cena, so it's like sure, put that in. But then we found.
we put it back. We put Balloon with his flashlight in anyway.
I'm glad we did because.
Yeah, that's much higher than this one is.
Yeah.
And also the battle after this also had a Hulk character. That's also kind of just a gag, but you know.
So
but
it's
you know,
good.
John Cena's not as bad as Roman Reigns, so
The animation for it was alright. I still question why half of it's just the laser thing to the moon.
from
DBZ.
yeah, the Final Flash.
But whatever.
Yeah,
It's good for what it is. Number 22, Shao Kahn vs Gilgamesh.
I'm happy with it. The animation was good. Research was solid. It was just overall a good episode.
Yeah.
But it doesn't have the same sort of charm that most not death battles have. It's just it's
It's
good.
just there, it's plopped in the middle.
It's there. It's good. It does its job. It's entertaining.
Doesn't help that it's stuck in between Star vs Egg and Taylor's chair.
Although it is better than Taylor's chair, but you know.
Yeah.
21. Now, remember when I said that this was much higher than Hulk Hogan
Well-
and John Cena? I lied. It was just slightly.
Balloon Boy vs Flashlight. We needed to do another inanimate object fight. This just came out of nowhere.
The best part's the Kamehameha from nowhere as well. It just happens.
And it's also kickstarted the motherfucker trend with the flashlight as well.
Yeah,
after
and
Splash.
I could use more Some Call Me Johnny footage, and I love that channel.
And that probably had the best outro for anything
Yeah.
in a while.
Okay,
It's just decent. Animation I liked, yeah.
number 20. Yang versus Hulk. This started the Yang killing craze. At least, okay, it was uploaded after Yang had died a few times, but this is the first animation I did with Yang dying.
Because this wasn't meant to be episode 10 as well.
Yeah, this was a really old episode that somehow managed to go all the way back to number 20. Episode 20.
Explains the crappy mic quality from Bruce Banner in the animation. But
no. Which is not the voice we're going to use if we ever use Bruce Banner again. But
we might.
But I'm happy with how Yang vs. Hulk came out. It was good.
It
was just good.
Stumpy matchup.
Yeah, it was a stomp. Alright.
19, Barney vs. Beast Wars Megatron. 1, the chest nipples blooper.
And the best part of that is that it's not just it's like a double layer blooper. It was a blooper in that he said chest missiles wrong, but it's a blooper on my part because I didn't notice that the missiles didn't come from his chest, but from his hips like the actual toy.
So they're
hip missiles
or
that
hip
nipples.
Damn, those are some hip nipples you have
Some
there.
hip nipples you got there. Oh.
Oh god.
But yeah, so it was a good episode.
It did Balloon Boy's flashlight better as we took to analyzing Balloon Boy like seriously.
Yeah, this time we were like, Barney, he's just super evil for some reason.
That's
and I
it.
got to rewatch Beast Wars, which is one of my favorite Transformers series, along with Transformers Prime.
So,
Yeah, just happy with how it turned out.
number 18. Now this is one of your
This is one of my favorite ones, Yuri versus Max. Why is it so low for being one of my favorites? I don't know. It's just a very it's probably one of the best serious matchup ones we have. But the flaw is that Yuri versus Max, it doesn't get a lot of views because the characters are quite obscure.
Like you have to have this put the series names in the episode title.
I was researching for freaking ages because if you didn't know, Chain Chronicle is my favorite game of all time, but it's no longer around, so I can't get my own footage and I can't go back and just rewatch all of the Tales of Bonds and
And let me guess, you don't really want to pirate it either.
I don't want to pirate it either, and I couldn't because even if I did, I can't access the server anymore. So I had to play it in Japanese, which would ruin the whole point of reading what happens.
You kind of need it to be in English.
For a visual novel style setup for the story, it's basically impossible to use it when I can't read it.
I was surprised to find out that I mean, I knew Shining Force was Sega, but Chain Chronicle was also Sega.
It wasn't
Thanks
entirely
Sega.
It was a Sega game mostly. I'm just really happy with it. It was originally going to be Yuri vs. Warrior of Light from Dissidia, but then as it turned out, Warrior of Light from Dissidia is a separate character to Warrior of Light from Final Fantasy 1 because confusing plot. I love Dissidia, even the new one I like as well, not as much, but Warrior of Light's really confusing. So I just stuck with Yuri vs. Max. You know what? I'm going to show you the very brief bit I animated of Yuri vs. Warrior of Light right now. See, that was it. Basically nothing. Same setup with Kane dying, but I haven't really.
Oh yeah, one of the very few stick figure fights as well.
Yeah, it's one of the few.
Or user stick figures.
Full stick figure fights. It's one of only 2 that are fully stick figure.
We'll get to the other one.
One of only
much
4.
later.
One of only 4 that uses stick figures as one of the main fighters. In this case, both of them. And I'm really happy with it. I love how the animation turned out. Just very happy. The only reason it's down here, one, Huan doesn't like it nearly as much as I do.
I mean, if
you played the games, you probably would.
But I have a lot of other shit to get to first. So
and also, it's a serious battle, and those don't get as high on, apart from one really, in this list because that's not the point of Not Death Battle. But still, I'm happy with it. I'm glad I made it, and I got to talk about Yuri, and I freaking love the anime trilogy too. All right, next.
We're gonna jump into our first stupidity.
This
is
one of
just
the pure stupidity ones.
Yeah,
It's so dumb.
Batman versus Wall. It's just the Aspel Wall.
It's the Aspel Wall.
Yeah, Batman versus the Aspel Wall.
Which one else came up with this? Was that your idea or mine?
Yours, I
I
think.
think it was mine, yeah. And I gave it to Huan because he's great at this sort of thing. And I'm so glad I gave it to him because it's just so dumb.
The Batman research. Oh, that was
good.
Like that. Yeah.
But then the wall.
It's just
The Aspel Wall came out of this, and that's probably the best thing this episode is that we made Aspel Wall from it.
And the Aspel Wall is like a guardian of the Nemiverse, which we call it.
We had this like jokey origin story where Chuck Norris and Bruce Lee challenged each other to build the biggest wall possible, and then expanded endlessly upwards and
then
endlessly
to test
widewards.
it out, Chuck Norris roundhouse kicked it, and it
and just
was intact.
And then they put the final brick in place, and putting that together and completing it caused the Big Bang, and that's just what we did. That was stupid.
And now his pals with Bruce Lee and Chuck Norris. We will continue. We will use Bruce Lee later.
Expand on this idea later.
But Aspel Wall, fucking brilliant.
Fucking brilliant. The animation, the first part was great.
Second one is just all flat out crazy, but I like it.
And the best part. One of the best parts, the best part of the animation is either Chuck Norris kicking Batman in the crotch, causing a white explosion.
Yes.
Or Green Lantern attacking the wall, flying back, bouncing off of Superman, which then became a running gag on the channel. Is Green Lantern is just always trying to beat the wall.
Not features much, but it happens.
It's a brief game, like the Martha character from how it should have ended.
Yeah. So yeah, dumb and good. Number
16.
That one.
Saitama vs. Chuck Norris.
Now, while this is one of the earlier episodes, it definitely stands out among...
It's the favourite of one of our friends.
Shout out to you.
you
Actually,
know who you are.
It's not his number one favourite now.
Not
it's his
anymore,
second
but
favourite.
It used to be his favourite for a long time until a certain episode.
And we'll get to that as well.
We'll get to that much later. And it's... Okay, the Saitama analysis I sincerely regret because I watched One Punch Man after I made this video and I fell in love with it. I love the show. I'm really sad Madhouse.
One Punch Man.
It's what calls One Punch Man. Which shout out to Kitty Kirishima. She gave me the idea when I called her. I'm not gonna say it, but it was a joke because of her name, and Robbie Rotten. I made a confusion.
Oh my.
Ignore it.
Kitty Rotten. Or Robbie.
Something like that. And then
Oh,
she made
God.
One Punch Man as an idea, and I thought, I'm doing that as a show. I went to her and I said, One Punch Man. But it's
Sure!
puns.
Let's do that!
And
I tend to just agree with anything
he just
does.
agrees with what I say, or usually. Sometimes he doesn't.
Yeah.
But it's usually the best ideas we agree on. He just immediately says yes. Like, not Death Battle, immediate yes. So, yeah.
Flash vs. Sonic, immediate yes. Elsa, yeah.
Yeah. It was an immediate yes. And with this one, I regret the Saitama analysis, but I'm still happy with the episode, because it's just Chuck Norris jokes. That's the whole thing.
Yep.
Most of them I made up on my own, only to find out that they were kind of similar to ones already on the internet, but that's to be expected. And the animation was so dumb. So dumb. And it helped give reason to why not music beats not Wiz. You want to explain?
So, if you see at the end of it, when Chuck Norris has the whole roundhouse destroying universe, multiverse kick, turns out that Not Wiz and Not Music weren't ready for that type of level shit before. So, that happened, and if you didn't know, Not Broomstick was completely fine after all that. He was just a little bit shocked, but Not Wiz's legs were broken.
They were broken.
He was still fine, like he still survived. He was still there.
He's
but
still
his
a
legs-
universe level. He's just able to be injured by universe level attacks, just not killed.
Not Broomstick can just tank him, and
Just be like, oh, what happened to the studio? Oh!
and the reason he was probably shocked is because this is the first time it happened.
It's the
so-
first time that it actually hit them.
Yeah.
Okay, now, 15.
Sasuke Uchiha vs Patroclus Alexander. This
Which-
was the one that was meant to be a 1 second
Yeah.
punch out, but got swapped out with Zoro vs Zoro.
It's essentially the same episode as the 2 episodes before it, which we'll talk about later. In that it's a piss take on one character from a series we love that we don't like, and then a character from a
Giving
series
full depth research for a character that we don't really enjoy from
Yeah.
a series that has I like, but definitely has problems, and you don't really.
Okay, with Naruto, I love the first bit before Shippuden. I adore that
yes,
part of the
part
manga.
1 was really good.
But Shippuden, the point where it became who can launch the most powerful anime farts was where I just decided to stop reading.
Mm.
But I respect Naruto, but I just don't like the later parts. I
mean-
love the first part. It's great.
And the Sasuke research, oh boy.
I dropped Naruto, and then learning all the stuff Sasuke does afterwards, I thought, I'm glad.
And it turns out that Sasuke did destroy that meteor. It was only half of a meteor because the rest of it got destroyed by Rock Lee and whatever, and his
And
gang
then
people.
Patroclus Alexander, for a long time, I thought he was going to be the character that brought the end to Soul Calibur, but Soul Calibur 6. Oh, Talon reveal. Happy with that.
I can make a proper
Waiting.
Yang in Soul Calibur 6.
Yes, and now I'm waiting for Tira. And yeah, I mean, if
Siegfried
I was...
Nightmare are already there.
Yep.
Anyways, Jess, about the episode.
So it's good. It's funny. Disco mode, which was totally useless and not was just not music.
yeah.
And the animation was great. I
And-
think was I the one who came up with the idea for part 2? I
I
said
think that was me. Actually.
no. That was you. Yeah.
yeah,
you thought you
because
should do a part 2.
Susanovus Alpha Patroclus. I mean, makes sense.
And my response was to ask why, and then it came out, and I stopped asking because it was perfectly stupid.
Someone was going to probably compare the final forms.
And then the voice of Patroclus is basically just an early version of Dr. Fate's voice. The
Yeah.
Malfested must die!
So yeah, why did we do this as a not death battle? Well,
It was too long for 1 second punch out.
and I knew more about Naruto and loved Soul Calibur more than I know One Piece.
And love Zoro.
So yeah, it was pretty obvious.
Number 14. It's basically the same as the last one. Lucy the Clones vs. Lucy Ophelia.
I'm not a piss take on a character that from one of your favorite series, but sucks.
Yep.
And
a character I don't like from my favorite from one of my favorites versus a character I don't like from a series I hate. Which is not
Yeah.
quite the same as Sasuke, but it's close enough.
yeah, because I feel like I didn't really insult Sasuke enough in that. But
And we definitely did. Probably the best part of this one is how snarky the two were towards everything.
yeah,
And the over-the-top, what sort of reactions from the ridiculous feats.
mm,
And the animation was
gory.
absolutely brutal. And I loved how it turned out. There
So-
are actually 3 different edited versions of that because I kept losing them. But then I found them again, which I'm not going to show you because they're gone again.
Just the same as Sasuke's Patroclus, except it doesn't have a cool origin story behind it. But it's probably
Yeah.
has a far better.
The
jokes.
editing's probably better.
But Sasuke vs Patroclus, just
And of course,
since it uses Soul Calibur character, boom.
it's the way that Not Wiz describes Lucy DeClane's backstory, which is fucking great.
I also realized that Not Music really got angry at Alpha Triclice.
Well,
While in Lucifer's Lucy, it was like,
Not Boonsy got really mad at Lucy Declonius' abilities.
oh wow.
And Not Wiz fell asleep.
Yes.
Anyway,
So those two are similar, really good.
Yeah, I'm happy with them. They take the middle place perfectly.
Number 13, the 1987 Shredder versus the 2003 Shredder.
In terms of quality,
It's definitely not the best.
it's not the best. It shouldn't be up here if this was purely quality, but we're the only ones who can look at this. We look at this from the least objective view. From the least objective view, we have the best choices here in terms of our ranking because we made them.
Because this is the one that really started getting views. It got the attention of Great Demon.
Yeah, Rampage and Animations, I think Butter Samurai, Great Demon, all got into Not Death Battle from this one. It's the reason I made Gandalf versus Doctor Doom.
It's one of the ones with the most views even.
Yeah, I think it's got the second most views of any episode.
Yeah.
And it's really freaking good, just in terms of how stupid it is. Because
the only bad thing is just the mic quality.
my quality's bad. The 87 Shredder analysis was perfectly stupid. 2003 Shredder, I spent a long time researching. I know. In terms of quality, okay, editing wasn't great, voice acting was not the greatest, and my quality was horrible.
But due to the significant impact it left on people, and
that's what makes it so great for us.
Yeah.
And especially because Shredder. They know the 87 Shredder.
Or just the human Shredder in general.
Yeah, human Shredder in general is hello there. That's
Time to stop being goofy. Where he then turns into
the
I am the Super Shredder. I am Super Shredder. I'm the Super Shredder.
I'm okay.
okay, yeah,
All
something
right,
like
yeah.
that.
Number 12, Deadshot versus Stormtroopers.
For the umpire.
That is such a stupid thing.
I know this is what's his name, Z-Dog's favorite episode, and I can see why.
Yeah, I love how it turned out. Good job. Good job,
fine.
Lee.
Yeah, I mean,
I've said it before, sitting in.
Yeah.
It's good job on that one.
Deadshot. It was nice to finally use another DC character because I noticed before this you realised that
There was no DC characters, I think,
Other
before
than
this one.
Batman.
Other than
So-
Batman. But
feels a nice one, so it's nice to fit one in.
And there were three Marvel characters, which were Hulk, Devil Dinosaur, and Galactus.
Yeah.
So yeah, we needed more Marvel. DC. We need more DC.
Yeah,
drunk.
feel like the research was good.
Yeah.
Deadshot tried to use comic stuff, so I might have used different things, but
Yeah, also, there was a comment that asked how well Deadshot does against lasers and how well Stormtroopers do against ballistics. I'll just say it now. Deadshot has tanked lasers before, I think.
There was a feat where he did take a blast from Jon Stewart in the
Yeah,
video.
and that's way more powerful than a Stormtrooper laser. While Stormtroopers, their armor's been pierced by sticks and stones, and Deadshot has explosive shots.
And I just recently found out, I think in a canon novel, it's been shown that a slug thrower, that's just a normal gun, Star Wars, was able to pierce Stormtrooper
yeah,
armor.
because Stormtrooper armor isn't meant for efficiency; it's just meant for scare.
Yeah.
That's the Empire's thing.
The Empire is more quantity than quality.
I nearly said umpire. I nearly said it's the Empire's thing.
Yeah.
All right.
So, Stormtroopers were really outmatched. It was nice to work with Star Wars again.
Love Star Wars, one of my 3 favorite franchises.
And we got back at sprites now, because Stormtroopers were sprites, and 10 of them died.
Yeah, 10 sprites died.
Magikarp cameo in the animation as well.
So, yeah.
Really good episode. Number 11, probably the best early episode.
Yeah, by far.
AVGN versus the Nostalgia Critic.
This is James' favorite episode, I'm pretty sure. Has he told you otherwise? He hasn't told me otherwise.
I think he did mention it.
I think, yeah, it's his favorite. He's brought it up before in videos we never released because of bad recording quality.
The only thing bad about this is probably just the, once again, mic quality, and probably just not enough research.
Yeah, the Nostalgia Critics analysis was a bit short.
But
there are feats I should have mentioned, like he carries mountains in his pockets, which is still nowhere near the AVGN feat where he threw the N64 cartridge, not an SNES cartridge.
Yeah, I just realized that when I
realized that too. I didn't notice that.
SNES cartridge. That doesn't look
Super
like.
N64 was an SNES. So that's a much more impressive feat given how far he threw it, and the explosion that was resulting. And the Nostalgia Critic does make explosions, and some people might question the AVGN surviving, being immune to explosions, but he's shown it before. He died once. When he came back, the explosions never affected him afterwards. Not counting when he touched death, literally death.
Yeah, but other than that, the research's good.
Yeah.
Animation was like the first big proper fight.
Yes, and I also should mention, I made a comment that I never put into a video. The Nostalgic Critic can fly. He did show he could fly in... what was it? The Stallone... One of my favorite films from Stallone. Have you seen it? Yeah, probably haven't seen it. With the 3 seashells.
Don't know.
I'll just look it up now.
Point is, really good.
Demolition Man, yes. In the Demolition Man review, he flies. But we never see how fast he goes, how far he goes. So I couldn't exactly compare it to Video Game Nerd's ridiculous speed and acceleration. So yeah. And also, Video Game Nerd can revive himself without altering continuity, which is better than both of them just reviving themselves by altering continuity.
Yeah. So yeah, still a good episode.
Yep, I'm happy with it.
Holds up, sorta.
It still holds up today, I feel. Number 10, Death Star versus Death Egg. Yes, sirree!
Yes, this is our first thing with using Star Wars. And oh god.
And the Death... Okay, some people have pointed out the Death Egg should have won, like Butter Samurai. And yes, the Death Egg is more powerful because it has more lasers in it as well. But the joke was that they're basically the same thing, but one has a mustache.
Yeah.
That was the joke. There was no actual winner. Like, no proper winner. But, you know, it was a gag. Yeah. Don't take it too seriously. But yeah, the thumbnail is so dumb. Not as dumb as Deadshot vs Stormtroopers. Not even close, but it's still very dumb.
I mean, that Stormtrooper hanging out in the upside down, while Deadshot just takes up. But yeah, you got Darth Vader and Eggman popping up in the thumbnail.
Yep.
And there's
that was my first Darth Vader take, and that evolved into the motherfucker Darth Vader that's the one we use now.
Yep. Well, I wish I would have included more Eggman feats. I was happy with that analysis.
Yeah. Okay. Best part.
Death Egg animation. Yeah.
The animation.
I mean, I could have used the Death Egg zone footage from Sonic.
Well, that would not have been as funny. The fact that Death Egg just materializes in place, he just shows up.
Like the cow god blacksmith area.
He shows up in the middle of the animation as well.
Yeah.
Like, okay, before Deathstroke vs Captain America came out, it cameoed there, and then he shows up in the animation from the future.
Yes. And Nemesis in Huan's face.
Nemesis in Huan's face. He comes past Notwiz from his...
The defunct Twitter for Not Death Battle as well.
Yeah, it's so... Pornhub, he fucking... It's great.
Yeah.
Alright.
Perfect. So yeah, the animation for it too. Well, it's not my favorite.
Good. Yeah, I love the stupidity of it is what makes it so funny.
Yeah.
Once again, our comedy is just stupidity, which is not very common actually compared to what people have done nowadays. But you know, we try to do more than just that too. Anyway.
Now, remember what we said about the other stick fight? Well,
yeah.
Well, we reached it, and it's much more dumber. Malcolm Bay. Michael Bay vs. Derek Savage. Fucking hell.
Yep, number 9 is Michael Bay vs. Derek Savage. It's not the one I brought up that was full stick figure, but it is the one I brought up. One of the other 3 I brought up that had a stick figure as a primary character.
Yes.
And yeah, they basically are just stick figures.
It is just so stupid. Like, we just exaggerated Michael Bay and Derek Savage's common tropes.
He made up abilities... Who had made up abilities based on their tropes, trends, and...
Like, the Michael Bay explosions things make sense.
That was the most obvious thing.
But the net worth shit?
Sure. The animation, that's the best part, let's be clear. I mean, so good.
The music part was probably best choice of music ever.
Yeah.
And just using
here's the funny thing. I brought it first up to him and said, you should use this music, and you know what he says to me? That's what I was going to use from the start. It's sync. We were in sync on that one. It's perfect.
And just seeing them use all this stupid
shit.
Guitar versus...
Did Michael Bay ever actually create an explosion in the animation?
Other than the explosion camera gun and the giant Pluto throwing thing, no.
Yeah, I guess his explosion was the supernova at the end.
Yeah.
Because throwing planets at the sun wouldn't cause a supernova. But, you know,
this is
Michael Bay. He can do that.
So yeah, exaggeration was perfect. We took it way too seriously. And
the way I started pronouncing Michael Bay's super form, was it Michael Bay's?
Yeah, Ultimate.
The Ultimate super form. That was really hard to keep up, but I loved it.
And Derek Savage. I don't know how we managed to write me. Yeah, it was actually me only.
Yeah.
Don't know how I was able to keep up with an analysis for him despite his shady history, but
And this is where Rat Trap's name came from.
yes, Rat Trap
snaps the twigs.
Rat Trap's not snapping. Oh, God.
Alright, number
Lots
8.
of good things in that.
Number 8 is our best serious battle in terms of quality, but not the highest ranking.
Team Ruby Battle Royale.
Yep, it's really good. I had this in the back burner for a long time. I purposely chose not to include Volume 4, and then Volume 5 came out while... This came
And
out
we all
during
know
Volume
how
5.
a dumpster fire Volume 5
Yeah,
is.
and I didn't include that in the analysis either, even though I couldn't, because I would have to go back and re-edit the video. Because I wanted to do this pre-time skip, back when Ruby was...
Makes sense as well, because that's when they're at their prime.
That's when they're at their prime and analyzable. Because I can't analyze post-time skip, because Volume 4 and Volume 5 just had no feats. Especially Volume 5. No feats worth talking about. And no, that lightning feat from Volume 4 is not... I can calculate how long it took for that lightning to reach there. It was not moving like lightning. It looks like lightning.
fight
Doesn't
was
mean it's
this?
lightning. In the Sea Dragon versus Blake and Sun. Not only is there a jump cut, which is often used for things like this, that implies that Sun jumped at the same time as the thing shot him in the first place.
So he dodged lightning, but it's not
No,
really.
he blocked the lightning. However, is it lightning? It moves so slowly.
Huh.
Anyway,
That's why we didn't use it.
the animation was one of my first animations actually, and I was really happy with it. I included, accidentally, both the original and second version of the animation edits
We
were
left
there.
in, so whoops.
But I guess I can just say that was okay because it shows the progress, I guess.
Plus, it's really good.
And I actually went over and asked LK64 for permission to use his sprites, and he gave them to me.
You and him are like best buddies. Now.
Not really. We don't really
Oh.
talk. It's just that when I need sprites
He's
and
like,
I ask for permission,
Hey, can I use this? Yeah, sure, fam.
to break for a moment, Urza's Saber, the Urza Nakagami armor sprites, actually were made by him for me.
Oh.
There weren't many of them, and I was like, is that it? And then I thought, you know what, I can work with this. They look really way too good to just not use. And I did. I was happy. So yeah, Team Ruby Battle Royale, back on track. Good episode. Great analysis, very happy with it. I went back to the script and added some jokes in that fit better with our characters at the time. And yeah,
But that unfortunately ends the serious battles. Because
kind
all
of.
the
There's
rest...
one more, but that's the end of the really serious ones. Most of the next ones are all Who-And episodes,
Oh, God.
apart from number 1.
Number 7. Iron Man versus Nick Kelly. Oh my god. This was another one of your ideas.
This is one of my ideas.
That was originally season 2 premiere.
And then I thought, nah, gotta do it now. And, okay, first thing, yeah, there are many mistakes in what we say. We fuck up pronunciations accidentally almost as many times as we do on purpose. There was the one hand joke that came out of literally nowhere and accidentally synced up perfectly with the actual feats. I didn't actually see the feats or the comic panels.
And when I got the comic panels, I was like, holy shit, it actually does quite
does it
couple
in one
stuff
hand.
with one hand.
And when he says one hand, but it's actually two, without knowing, it actually was a feat where he used two hands.
I don't know. That is just an
That was
amazing
a massive coincidence, and it turned out. But we laughed so much when that came out. I came up with the outro idea too.
Yeah. Iron Man. It's nice to use Iron Man again. Java's popping in was amazing.
Yeah, Iron Man's one of our favorite characters to use on the channel.
Using Ned Kelly, unique.
Yeah, mate. Oh, so the bug up there.
The fucking fight.
It's so stupid. This is second last on the list of pivot fights. This one doesn't quite count because only one character is a pivot model, and even then he's got still images all over him.
Yeah.
But yes, he still kind of counts.
Animating that was probably the most fun for me.
Yeah,
like fun animation.
I'm happy with how it was. So yeah.
Yeah.
Number 6, Mountain versus Pickaxe.
It used to be the longest mainline series NDB.
It was just shy of Urza vs. Saber's nearly
By 5
1 hour
minutes.
ring. Yeah.
And fucking hell, it is probably the ultimate inanimate
It
object.
is the ultimate
the
inanimate object.
accumulation of all the jokes
Yeah.
built up through all the.
It's quality. It's hilarious. It's great. It was so fun to make.
Yes, it took me a while to fucking make because of its length. But
The length, yeah, and that's the second longest hiatus we've ever had.
the free rounds built in quality and were really good. The Scribblenauts one was shit.
That was brought up just randomly at school,
Yeah.
and it's perfect for what it was.
Minecraft,
But it builds up. It starts as like an okay Scribblenauts, and then an okay
and then
Minecraft, And just to make you
over the-
think, oh man, is this all they're doing? Round 3, the first ever, comes out of nowhere and blows them out of the water with sheer
Over the top
over-the-top moronicism.
Like, the pickaxe flies through a cave, kills so many rocks.
And then it actually throws
Fucking
the head at it.
Yeah.
And then it shows up the top and just blows up.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
It is stupidity incarnate.
Yep, I love it.
It's... Oh yeah, and the bloopers for it, which were
Yes.
old in the outro, but good as well. Really good. Watch all the armored object fights prior to it before watching this.
Yep, and...
Now, while this early episode does not have the best quality and isn't... And, yeah, really hails in comparison to some of the others,
Number 5 is
pen versus pencil.
this... The
Goddamn fucking episode.
Let's be honest, the reason it's here is not out of quality, but because of what it means to us, really.
It was the first joke battle.
The first it was the first
Ever.
inanimate object battle. Technically,
Yes.
Shredder was the first joke, but
But-
for the longest time, it held the highest views until Red versus Henry of any episode, and it doesn't have that. It's not even close now, but for a long time, it was the highest viewed.
And it perfectly symbolizes what NDB
Yeah.
NDB means.
The
It's
reason
stupid.
the reason it's not at number 3 or 4 is just because we remastered it into the perfect pen versus pencil.
Yeah, like the remastered edition is probably like up in the god tier status.
Let's talk
now.
about that briefly. Yeah, Pen vs. Pencil Remastered, absolute classic. Loved how it came out. Nowhere near as many views, but that's obvious. Most people already watched Pen vs.
Yeah,
Pencil.
the remastered fight was just
Beautiful.
But the old fight here was still
It was so slow, but it was so good at the same time.
yeah.
And now we made them dude guys at last. After the remastered, I made them dude guys.
Yeah.
Also, in the remaster, there was during the portion where they summoned sprites, you might notice most of the characters showed up later in 1 Second Punch Out.
Yes, that
And-
was on purpose.
That was on purpose, and that was see if anyone picked it up. No one did, of course.
And I'm glad they
Bring it up now.
didn't.
Alright.
Oh, and yeah, the only thing that's keeping Pen vs. Pencil down is really just an early episode, 1 to
Yeah.
6. Those are the early episodes.
Number 4, Predator vs. Donkey.
This one we came up with in school as well.
In school. Originally it was Predator vs. Goat, but then we were like, wait a minute, goats don't do that. Donkeys do the kicking.
Yeah.
And we laughed so much coming up with this. We
Our
actually got told
teacher
off.
had to come
Our
in.
philosophy teacher, love her so much. Wish I
Yes.
could have philosophy in years 11 and 12. Had to tell us off. Yeah.
Stop.
He said, stop laughing. What's wrong with you guys? That was okay. In philosophy is where he and I, and in some regard James occasionally
created most of the earlier.
not Death Battle and
Yeah.
most of the earlier stuff. It's where I proposed the idea. It's where I proposed the battles. It's where Pen vs. Scissor came from. Pen vs. Pencil, Shredder, all those came from that. And this is the ultimate, really.
The animation second half for it.
You might notice the Predator analysis. I purposely took it for 2 reasons. One, to ease the load on Huan because he
Because I was making, because Deadshot with Stormtroopers, it was originally an idea for that we had to replace with Deadshot with Stormtroopers because you didn't really want to do that,
Yeah.
so we replaced it. So now that I had the sudden wait to do that,
I took over this on purpose, and
yeah,
it also works perfectly because the editing is like all this high quality footage and perfect. Like with Huan, sometimes it's not perfectly timed with what's being shown.
yeah,
Sometimes that's actually really funny. But Predator vs. Donkey was all timed with what was shown, and the music was all this like super dramatic stuff. I made the next time for it as well from the previous episode, and then Huan edits Donkey, and
just
it's really stupidly funny.
Like it's got this MLP music. It's random facts
and
about the donkey.
Then the animation is by far the best part. It starts with me, and you think, oh man, serious animation, wow. And then Huan takes over, and it goes straight up shit creek in the best way possible.
It's suddenly DBZ levels of
Yeah.
stupidity. Kick through planets.
Survives.
Yes.
Both kicks he survives, and both times he goes standing through a planet he survives, until he gets squashed in Pluto, but he somehow reappears in Not Wizard's Not Boomstick.
Yeah.
Then,
But
he
gets
dies
killed
again. That was... It
Poor
was
Pluto. Oh, that
yeah, and
that
poor
was.
Predator too. It was great. I love how it came out. It was the best dumb idea we ever had.
And it paid off really well. And this is the first time that Not Wiz Not Booms it just couldn't even make.
Yeah,
a
and once
conclusion.
again, good job, Helene. Great job.
Thanks.
All right.
number 3. This one,
Is the highest ranking one I did solo.
yeah,
Red versus Henry.
most viewed, bitch.
That's one of the biggest things. It's got tens of
Now,
thousands
pen
of views.
versus pencil. After its time came, this one took its place.
This one took its place, and slowly Shredder vs. Shredder climbed up and beat Pen vs. Pencil too. But Red vs. Henry.
It came out after the hiatus of Paper's Tree and Kevin's
even though
Ken.
Paper's Tree still came afterwards. But
Yeah.
Red vs. Henry, I think, is, in terms of quality, the best researched and the best edited, because it's almost like we just made a death battle episode but kept our sense of humor in it. The animation was
The mic quality finally better.
I think that was the first good quality mic.
Yeah.
That was the first time we used high quality mic with the mic we're still using now. I've used this for over a year. Just really happy with it. I don't know. I just feel really happy.
Animation was good. That's the also the final proper stick fight.
Yeah, and that's the first actually.
Yeah,
but the
first.
final on this list. So yeah, it's just a high quality episode. It was really fun to make. I loved
And the
it.
views really helped.
And I spent so long playing every single Henry Stickmin game that while I still love them to death, playing all of them in a row takes a lot out of you. It's a lot to do there. And then, okay, the worst part was editing the Henry analysis, because I had to get Let's Plays online of every single thing. Actually, no, it wasn't Let's Plays. I think I recorded all myself, and then just slapped it into the thing and had to cut each specific part out. Oh, the rage of editing that. But it came out great.
Yep, sorry for the pause there. We're just checking if it was still
Yeah.
recording. Holy fuck if it wasn't.
We've been pissed. Alright, number 2.
Now,
It's not as high quality
This-
as some of the last ones, but it has.
this
a good
one
reason.
took the throne until,
Number 1.
but we gotta mention it. Paper versus Scissors versus Rock.
Now, it doesn't have many views, and it has more dislikes than some of the episodes, as in it has 1. Most have 0.
Yeah.
But the reason it's here,
Is because Bob, Steve, and Rat Trap.
yes, that made it so fun to make the episode. It was the introduction of Bob Steve, as he said.
Yes. And combine that with already humorous shit I put in the script, such as False Information God, the fucking Dude Squad guys.
And it
That's
really
like
opened the doors for Rock.
Yeah.
It's the same Rock model we've used the whole time. Same with pen and scissors and
Yep.
pencil. No, not pencil has changed a few times, but those have never changed. And Rock is just
Perfect.
perfect. The constant
And
contradiction.
it gave Paper its redemption, sort of.
Yes, and the constant contradictions that were made, great. The hilarity of the fact that we still make fun of Paper when Tree is the only one who never made a redemption
Yeah.
is weird. But yeah, so really it was so fun to make the whole thing.
Yeah, and once again, going back to the Bob, Steve versus Rat Trap shit.
It kind of evolved. I just had this idea. What if I, using this pumpkin mask I used at Halloween several years ago, just walked around, you threw rocks at me as part of the analysis, and then that became an outro. And then I had, okay, smack Paper in my face and say, I'm going to paper your face.
That
Okay.
went horribly wrong the first time
Several
we did
times, and it turned out great in the end. And then I'm going to sit down, you're going to run at me, I'm going to run off, you're going to stab the fucking chair in the middle of the park and say, I'm going to stab you with scissors.
What?
What the Matrix.
Yeah.
It was just Bob Steve is Jesus' second respawn. It's so good.
And the fight, or just
The fight was so stupidly good, and everything contradicts what was in the analysis, which is hilarious. Because Notwiz talks about most of their abilities, and he's wrong.
yeah.
The ending was great. The dude. This is the introduction of the dude guys, isn't it?
And that was fucking hilarious. I was
like-
originally going to sync their voices, but then I was like, fuck that.
Because they sound the exact same. It's funny if they don't. I think I ad-libbed most of that. I was like, yeah, dude, yeah, dude, oh, yeah, dude, oh, yeah, great, dude, oh, dude, yeah.
And then you combine that with the stupidity of 3 objects voiced by me fighting each other.
2 talk, 1 just grunts, and the grunting one wins.
The scissors death as well. That was stupid.
Now, okay, in terms of quality, yeah, it's not as good as Red Henry,
vs.
Predator Donkey, or Man Pickaxe. Probably
Hell,
not even Iron Man
Man's
net
the
quality,
color.
yeah.
Ah, yeah.
But the fact that it was so fun to make, and it meant so much to the channel.
And the fact that it just helped save us from the Papyrus Tree Dark Ages.
Yeah, it has to be here. It was number one for so long, but then number one.
Not Wiz versus Not Boomstick. I'm sorry, this is just objectively.
It's so biased, but man, it takes the number one spot for so many reasons. Like,
This has just been built up for all the seasons.
this
All
is
the
what we built
bickering,
up to.
all the jokes
and
between
not
each
just
other,
about
all the
extra.
abilities,
Everything just came to a head
all
here.
the jokes in the channel.
This is what it was building up to. We do this better than Ruby. That's sad, but we
And the
built up to
payoff
this, and
was fucking...
yeah, a 30-minute long plus, I think, a bit more than 30 minutes of animation in a 1 hour long episode where we go into all the stuff that you guys never knew. I had to edit all those diplomas. I had to do so much editing to get it done. I edited the whole thing because Huan was working on stuff.
I, on the other hand, had to watch through all the main series.
That was his punishment. My punishment was
Yeah.
editing it, which was still fun.
And hey, I got to actually watch Lucy vs. Lucy again.
You got to watch everything again. I watched everything else, which wasn't really much, but the extras, the special, the rejected, that really wasn't much, and Urza vs. Saber, which I guess we'll talk about after this. But
And Chuck Norris vs. Saitama, that really what cemented why Not Boomstick won.
yeah, it's just the animation. I think is by far your highest quality, and my highest quality. It might not be as smooth as versus Ruby.
Might not be as funny as
Predator Donkey.
Yeah.
Or as good as even Pen vs. Pencil Remastered in some places, but
or fucking work as well as anime girl battle royale.
But the thing that makes it so great is how it comes full circle, I guess.
All the references we managed to somehow stuff
We
in.
spent months just characters. Put these references in, make them show up. This is what they do. Choose which one you're gonna do, and then we both have like several pages of choreography, I guess you can say, of what was gonna happen. Most of mine I didn't do. I just changed it to be better flowing.
Yeah.
And it flowed well. The cut between our animations is obvious but good, and it makes sense. Not Wiz, of course, wouldn't be as agile or crazily powerful as he was in my animation side when he's in his base form. And then I take over and it goes nuts.
They're throwing galaxies at each other.
I tried a first-person perspective even, which I don't think I've done before, and it looked good.
I used moving backgrounds.
Yeah, there was several points I think, but one in particular. There was moving backgrounds, and that was the
whole MK move.
Yeah, the MK move spanning.
And that was really good. Actually.
And then the ending, which actually took several hours to animate, the very short ending at the diner, because I included all the characters and had them voiced, of course. That was just so fun to make. It was so great. Every single ability that was of note showed up, and even some that weren't of note.
Like Future Sight, that just came touching it.
Glitch. Oops, we fucked up.
There's a chord that I need to stop touching. I apologize.
Let's go back a bit. Move back a bit. Okay.
There we go.
Anyways, Future Sight came out of nowhere. It was.
It makes sense.
It was all the references to the future of episodes that Not Boomstick made.
Yes.
Occasionally not Wizwood, but
the size enlargement I discussed before.
Yeah, I think the best part is that Future Sight is actually what clinched the victory, and you might notice
Sword of Death as well.
Yes, there are several points where Not Boomstick seems to predict what Not Wiz would do, especially when in the early part when Huan had the chainsaw versus laser sword therapy.
He was able to not look at where.
Yeah, and he blocked before Not Wiz even showed up sometimes, and that's part of the Future Sight. That's what we did. There was the stupid speed feat. There's a joke against Vegeta. There was the universe knowing that happened. Yeah, it was just a fun time overall. Every main channel member showed up. Desti and Helix didn't, but they're not really on the channel anymore.
Yes.
They just have their own things to do, especially Helix. Actually, no, especially both of them, really. Desti's trying to make her own show, for Christ's sake. So, yes. What happened? So there we go. There's our ranking for Not Death Battle and One Second Punch Out, and all that in between. Quick talk about Urza vs. Saber.
This one you kind of randomly brought up to me and was like, hey, sure, why not?
Yeah,
I'll do this.
I like the idea. I took so long animating. For a long time, it was my best animation. Yeah, I'm happy with it. Just, hi, Demon. You did a good job, too. It was just good. And Butter Samurai, I think, researched Urza, so thanks for that, too.
Woohoo. Thanks.
Alright. And now we're going to react to Galactic vs. Magikarp. Oh,
Yes.
great.
Wait, when will the second collab episode of Us and Demon come out?
Never. I don't know. One day,
I do.
when we both have time.
I do have an idea in mind, but we can discuss that after recording.
We'll discuss it after. Okay, so we're gonna take a break here and then react. If you managed to get all this way through, bravo. Yeah,
It's
unless you skip just to this part to see our reaction, in which
Include
case...
timestamps maybe then, future
Yeah, I'll include timestamps. But I hope you guys sat through this, because this was just us showing our heart to everyone. You're probably doing something else for listening to this in the background, you ass.
That's
I'm
what
kidding.
I do. I'm probably listening to this right now and
doing so.
animating fucking Goku versus Kirby. Just watch.
Yeah, that's a good one. Okay, taking a break here, we'll get back to you guys. Alright guys, we returned. We are going to now react to Galactus Magikarp. You might hear it coming through the microphone, but you're going to have to deal. The only headphones are broken. Well, the earphones are broken and the headphone doesn't work.
But I did not.
He forgot. Yeah.
You probably could have... Yeah, I forgot.
Alright, yep.
Totally.
Okay, yep.
Let's start.
Alright, let's go.
reacting to this.
Starting now. Disclaimer, thank God. It's not. I didn't do that in the first how it should have been videos.
So
but this one has a. Oh,
Yeah, this. It doesn't even say number 1.
it's just not the. It's got the motherfucking T-Rex. Why?
Yeah.
Throughout Death Battle, many
Oh,
powerful
good.
characters
Death
have
Battle
been
and Death Battle theme.
introduced, and today
Yeah.
we'll include the most powerful characters.
It's not even not Death Battle theme. It's
Such
just.
as
It's just
Galactus, the mighty
So,
pride
as you
of
can see, I
Marvel.
sound
and
uninterested.
Magikarp.
the fish
Fish.
Pokemon.
He's not with
Oh,
not
God.
broomstick.
That's our job to
Yeah,
analyze their weapons,
good
armor,
job.
and
And-
skills.
You
Find
can
out who
see-
would win.
It's
A not
got
death
potential.
That's the only time it's got
Battle. Long
hardcore.
before the universe
Oh
existed,
God, it's not even the
Gallon
same
was a member of the
transition we
Planet
use now.
However,
Mm.
the
It's
universe came
just-
to a
It
close.
usually just fades to
Gallon
black
was the sole
and boom.
survivor of his
Yeah,
universe,
usually we have like a
survived by
flip.
bonding
Or
with
I
the
usually use a
ascensions of
flip
the
for it.
universe.
Who doesn't? But
After
And I
gestating
usually
for
fade
billions
black
of years,
and...
yeah,
Gallon
this has like a
rose
weird
Galactus.
transition.
Galactus was seen by a watcher.
Galactus
Despite
was
seeing
seen
the
by a
darkness
watcher,
within,
and
the
I am
watcher spared
Boomstick.
him. Galactus was
It's not
consumed a nearby
Boomstick.
planet of
It's-
Archaeopteryx.
Hey,
Ugh.
not Broomstick. Did we literally sound like this?
Oh God, and oh God, there's transitions between the frames. That's distracting.
Yeah.
He can alter his own size,
That's
teleport
fine.
objects across
That's
space, create force
I didn't
fields
even
and
zoom in on the
He
point
is
that was
able to
important
use
like I should.
telepathy, telekinesis, have universal
Like
cosmic
it's
awareness,
directing you to look at the
create
part where
life,
he's not
bring
doing
back
it.
Yeah.
the dead,
Look, there's the
manipulate
Watch Mojo
souls,
footage.
memories, and
Watch
emotions,
Mojo.
bring back entire worlds, and project energy. Holy
Yeah.
crap!
Holy crap.
Kill the Celestial.
Kill the
And
Celestial.
against 3 Celestials all at once.
No,
He
no.
has one-shot the Red
He has
Hole,
one-shot the
matched
Red
the
Hole.
Phoenix, and stalemate
He's
the
Wiz and I'm
between them,
Boomstick.
of being
That's what I
literally
sound like.
duality
It's their
and
job to analyze
opposites.
their weapons,
He's so
armors,
strong,
and skills to
phasing
find out
is
who would win,
ineffective
and
on
not
him.
death
He
battle.
survived having 2 planets.
The good thing is
collided
that
with
I
even while he
learned
was
to make my
okay,
voice even
okay,
gruff.
so I emote by
Fantastic
saying
Four,
2,
crashed
and it's not
endless
one. Yep.
planetoids into Ego, and created shields that not even
Yep.
the Invisible Woman has been able to fuck with.
And even ate all
Oh,
of
here it
the
is.
Earth's Twinkies.
What?
Seriously,
What?
look.
Any.
What?
I didn't even like. What was that?
It's just
It's
like the
why
art.
doesn't this one have a zoom in? Like, ugh.
Why is it all just zooming in?
Yeah, there should be like. Normally I zoom it in on the point that's important. I was just using random things to make it look better.
Ultimates, a headbutt from Odin's, a supernova black hole, and entering the
Oh,
core
God.
of a galaxy.
Holy crap, guys,
That's the
insane.
second time it's just said
Not to
holy
mention
crap.
he can move faster than light
And
and has
watch
drained the
Mojo
energy out of Stars, Ultron, and the
Third
Human
time
Torch.
watch Mojo.
Not to mention
Oh,
casually
God.
stopping
Not
a
to
black hole's
mention.
gravitational pull and being able to pull
Yeah,
himself back
characters
together
are
after
just
being
very-
destroyed. He can
Yep.
one-shot Thanos, Silver Surfer, and
Very
Celestial.
Well, that was good
Almost
zooming in.
defeated Mephisto
That's
in
good
his own
zoom in.
realm, took down Tyrant, and
That's
could
okay.
destroy the universe if fighting someone like Scryers.
He even
Yeah,
fought intangible
who we
Kitty
didn't
Pryde
show, of course.
And knocked out Thor with no trouble. He can overwhelm
Did he do
Thanos'
it with one
telepathy
hand?
and
Yeah, he
match
actually
even
did.
Odin's telepathic
One
powers.
hand!
He has teleported
But
the
it's not
high
Iron Man,
evolutionary
therefore
to
it's
the
not
negative.
impressive.
Yeah, it's not impressive.
Golden
Galactus
Galaxy
doing things with one
crossed
hand, that's just
and
normal.
even
Iron Man, that's
himself
impressive.
alongside
Apparently.
legion of his
Somehow.
superheroes through a hole in reality.
Yeah,
Yep.
he's just really, really
It's just
strong,
the same
okay?
footage before,
In
just
fact,
continued.
He seems unstoppable.
Well, not quite.
Just
That was
beautiful-
perfectly timed.
Can be defeated.
Beautiful Watch Mojo footage.
But that was
Courtesy
perfect.
of-
Even killed.
That was perfectly timed
But
though.
that
He
doesn't
seems
really
unstoppable.
matter.
Not quite.
We
It
can
shows
go
Silver
more into how
Surfer.
he can be defeated. But we're a
He
bunch
looks
of
so
lazy
unhappy, he's like,
motherfuckers.
"Ugh."
Enough on
Come
the
on,
internet.
guys.
No amount of training can
When the
prepare
outro
you
clip's
for
good.
Galactus.
That's good, yeah.
Picture it. You got
This-
your
the
first
sound
fishing
effect
rod.
isn't even there.
You go out to the
This
ocean
actually
and
is
throw
my
it out.
footage.
Yeah.
What do
I
you
recorded
get?
this from an
A
emulator.
Magikarp.
On appearance,
Laggy, I think,
Magikarp
as well.
appears to just
I
be
should have
a
sped it up by
fish program,
0.25, I
but
think.
on the inside,
Oh my
he's a
God.
ruthless killing machine. Magikarp can use
Explains
9
his
different
and
powerful
emotion.
moves.
He's a
He can splash
ruthless
to hit
killing
with the force of
machine.
an erupting volcano.
I'll try and do that now.
Tackle with the
He's
power
a
of a
ruthless
supernova.
killing
Play a
machine.
lot of
Emotion.
the
Oh
ground
my!
And bounce so high he
Oh,
makes
yeah,
your
I
genetics
did
jealous.
You can use Celebrate,
Oh,
the blind
God.
as a Parody. Shoot a stream of lineup
It's the
bursting
fucking music with
bubbles,
Pokemon vs.
and
It's the
fire
fucking
the mighty
Pokemon vs.
hydrogen
Digimon.
enough
Death
force
Battle
to
music.
evaporate the sun.
And he's just shooting
itself.
Yarnshuff.
Oh,
Not really
and you can use
impressive.
Happy Hour to lock time at the
Yeah.
bottom, so you can teleport back
Was that
to your
Goku?
crib.
That's
No, it's
Yamcha.
Yamcha.
Magikarp is
Skull
an
in his face.
unstoppable force, often pretending to be weak just for laughs. He has the power
All
to
these
break
pictures
out of
are
a
very
Master Ball
weird.
with just one
Yep.
pin and smash reality
That
itself
comes
to
down. Like all the
pieces.
other ones make some sort of over-exaggerated sense. That's just out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Magikarp's
Oh, it's Aura Guardian footage. It's the same image I already.
And I know who he is now.
I love Aura Guardian, but man,
document his true power was
Jesus.
balanced to Aura Guardian. Somehow, the Aura Guardian managed
can
to
just
usurp the
try
force of
and
Magikarp's revenge.
See that I want
Priority
to
so high,
use
even for light
some
sensors,
emotion.
time
the
travel,
good news is music is perfect for how over the top we're portraying
base
Magikarp.
damage of
Yeah.
120 quintillion.
It's like nothing's
Which means
connected.
that with one hit, it can destroy an entire multiverse. Holy
Sure.
crap!
Third
That's
time.
all.
Holy
When this attack is sent to the Shadow Realm.
Why don't I say holy
This
shit?
ain't no Yu-Gi-Oh! Shadow Realm. This is Magikarp Shadow Realm.
It's Magikarp.
Yeah.
Yup.
Can escape.
Sure, not
It's a
Wiz.
state beyond death.
Jesus
The death
Christ.
of death itself.
It's not even a change in
even when
footage.
Magikarp
It's just
evolves.
It's the
this.
same footage, yeah. Holy crap.
Holy crap!
Is the only
No, you
people
forgot.
who become
Holy crap!
Holy crap. Holy crap.
The only chance to win is to please.
This is footage of someone using footage of someone else.
Wow.
I don't even know who Pimp Knight is.
Some Pokemon YouTuber.
Yeah, who managed to set up a Magikarp to kill. Oh
To
god.
sweep the team.
It's just me saying
The
that.
combatants are
It's not even the theme.
in this debate,
At least the
once and
thumbnail's
for all,
alright.
We'll be
Yeah.
having 2 rounds. The first one with the power of Magikarp's revenge.
Yup.
And the second without.
It's
It was like
time
the first.
for
It feels so long before we did another
battle.
2-round one.
Yeah.
Round 1.
Doesn't even show the name if you animate it.
Yep.
Oh, that fishing rod animation.
That's terrible.
Why?
That-
Why were the colors?
Hello? Speak up.
Why were the colors off?
They're really saturated, yeah. At least the animation itself's alright.
Yeah. I'm a force.
I could have done that much.
I am a force of nature.
God. It's the only.
Hey, look, the mutant super background.
It's the only sprite animation, sprite editing I did in this one. That's a terrifying face. It lags at the start. It doesn't flow well. It just lags. Apparently,
Yeah.
Galactus gets killed by a planet level attack.
Mm.
That's terrible. that's
Why
not
is-
bad at least. I don't know why. And then his head falls down.
Oh god, here we go. I'm gonna assume it's the ocean.
He's having a head spasm. Oh my god, this is not even an exclamation. It's a line and a thinner line.
Hey, look.
There's a weird
that's
cross.
And everyone's dead now.
Everyone died. Everyone just died. Magikarp failed. And
Yeah.
he flies through the water, the sky, and then the water again. He just
Yeah.
flying. What the fuck's happening? Why is he so huge? That is a
that
giant
Venus or
Is
the
that
moon?
Venus? Or that's Venus. But that's the best part. Wing wing wing. It's what I use every time I do a montage.
That explosion was weird as hell.
It's like it's not even an explosion. It's just a shape that gets bigger and is orange.
Suddenly it just
And then it
becomes
just
purple.
fades in. He doesn't like grab Magikarp. He just. And why is he so big?
Why is Magikarp? Is that supposed to be his stomach or what?
Is that his stomach or is he like having?
And that's apparently flail as
That's
well.
flail apparently.
What the hell's going on here?
Hang a second, what just
I
happened?
love how Magikarp. No, Glax has a casual reaction to.
What the hell? Oh, God. What's that? The sun?
I guess
He blows up the sun and destroys the KO screen apparently.
Magikarp.
Oh, now I use the sound effect.
While Galactus' power is
Hey, we didn't even bother with a
stood
conclusion.
absolutely no fucking chance against
Just,
Magikarp.
oh my god.
Galactus may be strong
It's just
enough to
footage of
defeat
Marvelous
almost all
Capcom 3.
Marvel superheroes.
Yeah.
But
Or Ultimate
Magikarp
Marvel
is literally
Capcom 3,
stronger
something like
than
that.
every other Pokemon.
Why does
and
Galactus take
strong
so
enough
much of the
destroy
screen?
all
How are you supposed to
existence
play
itself.
like that? I mean, Jesus
Galactus
Christ.
is strong.
And then it's like the footage goes to like
Magikarp is simply
2p,
stronger.
2
He
pixels.
doesn't even need Magikarp's revenge. But with it, Galactus would be defeated by only 1 hit.
Yeah, we didn't.
I guess
course.
Magikarp
No
just
reasons
won
even.
this Galactic tussle.
Oh god,
Pioneer
that
is-
was alright. Okay. Oh my god.
Magikarp.
At the next time.
Next time on
It only
Not
says
Death
next time.
Battle.
Hello there.
I will kill you.
That works. Isn't the Shredder image is so weird on the right, on the left.
Yeah.
Oh god, no. Inspired by Death Battle.
Okay, so the name's not Boomstick No is here, but
Oh my god.
there's
Did I even credit? Oh yeah, I did credit, okay.
there's a
Oh
lot
god.
of things wrong with this.
So, that was our retrospective, guys. It was long as balls. It was over 2 hours long. It's amazing if you got through this, so,
Unless you could split the reactions
you-
up.
I might. Yeah, so, see you guys. Have
Thank
a good
you
day.
for joining.
Thank you for being with us for whole season of Not Death Battle. Whole season One Second Punch Out, and I guess a season of Not Death Battle Extra.
Trust me, season 2 is going to be much more
It's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be
extra.
crazy. Oh, the next extra's gonna be nuts. Alright, so, I'm Mr. Bodrock. I'm signing off once again. Say goodbye.
Bye!
And that's all. Bye.